Ain't no singing, big dog.
Ain't no singing on this one, dog. Ain't no ain't none of that.
It's all good though.
So
It's all good.
So the final word, baby.
Though.
Final word.
Definitely the final word, but I ain't singing that song.
Hey, this the real final word, though. You know?
Yeah, for real.
Like for real. Like, yeah, the final word of the season, but then it's the first word
Never
of the
ends.
off season.
Right. And this is the slow grind, though. You know, you
Yeah,
can tell when
this-
people did their homework.
Right. Right.
You can tell.
Right. This the real work. This when it begins.
This the grind time.
Yeah.
For your mind, draft time.
Draft time. Free agency.
Y'all know I'm gonna be at that Senior Bowl next month.
Hello.
Oh, yeah?
See, you getting it out of the mud, for real.
Dude, I think
Yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
meet you up there, bro. For real.
Come see me, dog. But it's
Yeah.
gonna be at South Alabama. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
I'll be there
it's-
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
I'm trying to get my eyes on it too, bro. What we gonna talk about that? We'll talk about that when we get off the channel. For real.
Sure.
Cause you know, me and you, we draft dudes, man. We go.
You know what I mean? I want to get better at it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've been killing it, bro. I want to get better.
And then you know what? It's also about sending them boys for ourselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Not
Exactly.
clips.
Close up.
Not. Yeah.
Yo,
It's time to put in that
that's
work.
the main thing right there, man. Seeing it for yourself.
Seeing it
For yourself. It's always
yourself,
different. Hey, remember when we was first doing all this stuff, Law? You know, when I first met you and stuff? What was you always saying when I told you I had to get to training camp in LA, in California? I said, Law, I love Brian Broderick. I love Dave Hellman, but I can't keep looking through their eyes.
That's right.
Oh yeah, man, you spitting. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
You
trust
nothing like
my
doing
eyes,
your own
too.
homework, man.
You know what I'm
got
saying?
trust on.
That's why people respect us too, because they know we like
Right.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. Over time, people peep game. They're like, yeah, them boys, they gonna put in that work. We still say, still do your own work though. Don't trust my eyes either. Trust your eyes. For real.
Exactly.
But if you don't do your homework, don't wing it. Don't be faking. It's the
Yeah,
season
you're
of
gonna
faking
get called
too,
out
bro.
anyway. You're gonna get called out anyway. That's why I gotta make sure I always want to try to come through, because you're gonna get called out. That shit straight up.
Yep. Never echo what somebody else said too, man.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Don't piggyback and cherry pick.
Yeah. This also faking season. That's true.
Yeah, definitely faking season.
Fake
Wishful
season.
thinking, yeah.
A whole bunch of pump faking. Whole bunch of pump faking.
Yeah, man, we finna go and kick it off real quick. Hold on. I think we got the OC in here. Oh, so OC in the house. OC.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to rock, man. Let's go, man. I got a lot on my mind.
Oh, man. See, you ain't said nothing but a word, big dog. So you ain't said nothing but a word.
Yeah.
We right in it. Let's
Get
go.
the countdown box still down at the bottom, but we gonna roll it.
No, we gonna get it off. Thanks, Law.
Oh, you know, I'm always trying to do something over here.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Law be keeping his eyes on it. And OC, I'm gonna fix you right now. Go ahead, though. You up first, Law. What you got?
Oh, well, shoot. I got the blue screen over here, but y'all can still hear me.
Hold on real quick.
this is-
When we go through
there we go,
big,
there we go.
I go through big. Big, what you got,
Let's
big
go.
dog?
Okay. Well, whew. Boy, it's a lot to talk about today, but with all of us collaboratively, we all have been talking about obviously what happened in that San Francisco game. I mean, I'm gonna just start off with this, boss. You said this, and I'm gonna just scream it. I'm not gonna scream it, but I'm gonna say it in a normal tone.
All right.
But you said that if Collins goes out there, not just Collins or Tyron Smith, and they go out there, and we've been talking about the word of physicality, and we said we have to have that. If we don't, it's going to be a long day for the Cowboys. That happened, and I'm sorry, I am beating the La'el Collins, but dead horse. People have said, "Oh, it's been Zach Martin got whooped." He did. Tyron Smith got whooped. He did, but we talked about Tyron Smith. We already said Tyron Smith wasn't the same. I said Tyron Smith should possibly have looked for trade offers 2 years ago. So y'all not telling me nothing new about Tyron Smith. We knew about Connor Williams. You know what I'm saying? We knew about the issues with Biadasz and the strength. We said Zach Martin was getting older and this wasn't his greatest year. But one thing we kept talking about, and Boss Cowboys and OC was beating it before me. I just kind of came behind and jumped on that horse with him. Was that Leo Collins thing, because that was the thing that was really hurting our offense. And we just had a discussion on the final word where I said that Leo Collins was forced back in that lineup because of salary. I had some other people kind of confirm that. You know what I'm saying? That it was more money is why he came back as a starter. He didn't truly earn his spot, considering that he missed all of 2020, half of this year for being suspended on performance enhancing drugs. Look how big this dude is up top. I believe it. Look how big he is now, and look how small he is down low, and it's took his mobility. And that's a game. And I'm gonna just say this one thing: if we're talking about the playbook being cut down, well, I feel like the playbook was cut down automatically when you brought Leo Collins in that game starting, because now you can't run certain plays, tosses, things of that nature, because he doesn't have the athletic ability that he used to have because of those things. If you had a Terrence Steele in there, you would have been able to run certain plays and do those and have that running game and maybe be able to be a running threat. But you want to be bullheaded, have your pride, keep on saying, no, they can handle it. And guess what? Three hurries, 3 pressures. People say he ain't give up a sack. That's because Dak started getting rid of the ball so daggone quick because he was feeling that heat, dog. Leo Collins was getting whooped, bro. A lot of other people get whooped on that line, but the main person that we was talking about who you could have subbed, they weren't subbing Tyron Smith, right, boss? They weren't subbing Tyron Smith, right, Law? They weren't subbing Connor. They wasn't subbing Biadasz. They wasn't subbing Zach Martin. But one person you could have rotated right there who was ready-made and had the athletic ability to help that offense, and especially that run game, you chose to sit them, and they got whooped. And I don't like that decision at all. It really frustrated me, and that's one of the things that I'm going to start off with is that frustration of that, because I feel like it cost the team and it cost the running game. You had 16 total carries between Ezekiel Elliott and 4 carries with Tony Pollard when y'all just said y'all rested him for the Philly game because y'all needed him to be fully healthy. Y'all said he was healthy in the Cardinals game. You didn't give him the ball. Then you sat him for Philly, so don't you think you should have gave him system overload? He had a kick return where he took it all, 50 freaking yards? It got called back, but that showed me he had some juice, but maybe you couldn't run him because you couldn't get on that outside because Collins can't do it. I'm just saying.
Big facts, man. Get that man some yoga stuff, man.
Oh, man. So
yoga, fire, yoga, flame.
Yeah.
Look, boss, before y'all go, and shout out to you, the OC, man. Before you get into that, man, I just tweeted you in the DM, boss.
All right.
And it's what the mighty Duke Manyweather said. You probably already got this keyed up somewhere in the show. Do you have that?
Nah, but you know I can.
Oh, my God. It's a gem of a gem.
I'm going to fly it. Let's go.
But Ja and his son, that's the name of the guy that tweeted this out. He said, has Dallas focused on the wrong type of lineman for their interior offensive line or just offensive line in general? I think they're tended to like more finesse guys rather than maulers. Thoughts? And then Duke Manyweather reached out to him and said, lo and behold, I think their offensive line coaching / development has failed them since Callahan and then Pollock when they both left. Now, I come here to tell you guys, I'm not a brilliant offensive lineman guy. Duke Manyweather, he get people like Lane Johnson, the other kid from Bama, what's the guy name that played Dickerson? What's Dickerson? Landon Dickerson?
Yeah,
Landon Dickerson. He get Lyle Collins and Terrence Steele to come to his workout facility to help out whatever they do as it relates to O-line production. Production. Old folks say this, not everybody's lying. Somehow, Duke Manyweather got the truth. If people like professional players are using their money and their resources to come over there to help train and work out with him, that means that we can't take what Duke said with a grain of salt. And I can only imagine what this team would have looked like if Callahan was still here, not Lanahan, but Callahan. I digress. But do you have any word on that, DOC? Because you the offensive lineman aficionado over here.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. And shout out to Duke Manyweather. Much respect. But I am a high-level offensive line guy. And I'm an offensive line coach myself. And so before I get started with this, I just want to say, put hashtag straight business in the chat, because I'm going to get to straight business. Just straight business. No emotions, no friends, no loyalties. Guys, before I start, let me just share something. I was consulting with one of my business clients. I do business consulting. It's with a medical firm, and they were having problems with this particular employee. All right. And, I came in with one of the regional VPs, and she's a woman, and she was like, hey, what do you think about this situation? We put her on PIP, performance improvement plan. We did this, we did that. And I said, it's time to let her go. And they said, but I know her. I know her family. I know her kids. I said, but you don't fire anybody. And this is one of the things I teach businesses. I said, people fire themselves. People fire themselves by their actions or their lack of reaction. You don't fire. I said, so what do you choose? To keep that performance, or do you choose to do what's going to be best for the long-term nature of this organization? What do you choose? And so the Cowboys are there with certain key positions, which I'm going to get into more. But as it relates to the offensive line, you have to play power players that has the best agility that they could possibly have, a.k.a. Connor McGovern types, a.k.a. Collins inside. The issue with Collins, and the people beat the drum on Collins is a talented dude. Talent-wise, he has the capability to do a lot of things, but work ethic-wise, discipline-wise, accountability-wise, he's not where he needs to be. You can look at his biceps. Look at the picture. Look at his biceps. Does that look like a guy that's lifting hard? Look at his arms. Is he lifting hard, or is it too much fat around the muscles? No, bro, you chilling. You ain't lifting hard. Your arms will be more developed. Are you training hard? No, you're not training hard, because your weight will be under control. Are you doing all the things you need to do to be ready? And the fact of the matter is, no. And here's the deal. The offensive line coach has definitely failed these guys, because these guys have not got better. I haven't seen Zach Martin play this worse ever. And he's a future Hall of Fame type guy. I haven't seen him play this bad. Tyler Biadasz, these guys are not lifting weights. These guys are not focused. But you know what's even worse? It's Jerry Jones and the front office's fault, because they allowed it to be so. They allowed the Trojan horse, Kellen Moore, and I call him a Trojan horse, and I'll give you 15 reasons why in a minute, but not right now. I'm going to stop in a second. The Trojan horse to not allow your head coach to partially emasculate your head coach by him not being able to make all the decisions he needs to make. I'll stop there.
Straight business. OC. Let me jump one. Let me say this one thing. Boss, before you go.
I said nothing.
When right before we had that Dak Prescott restaurant video scene out there when we did that episode with him, I bumped into Duke Manyweather. And this was when they was about to make the change of moving Terrence Steele to the opposite side.
I remember.
And he literally, out of his mouth to my ears, he said, man, this is going to be a setback for Terrence Steele. He needs to stay at right tackle. And my guy, Collins, he's not ready yet. He's still not in shape enough. And this is what his words. And he said that they should keep Terrence Steele at right tackle. I know for a fact that moving him to left tackle, he's not ready yet. It's going to take him a few weeks, and he's not going to look good. Now, if anybody can remember, that was the Denver Broncos game. By far, that's when the team started to hang itself and go south as relates to running the ball with a purpose, running the ball with a meaning. And on top of that, it made Terrence Steele go to this Terrence Aluminum thing back again. You know, he metamorphed into the reserve Steele 211. You know what I'm saying? Because at right tackle, he was playing out of his mind. And I asked him, I asked him because that's when it was hot about.
Yeah, it was hot.
Can Lyle Collins play guard?
Yeah, it was fish grease hot.
Yes.
It was hot.
He said, yes, Lyle Collins can play guard. I train with him all the time.
Whoa.
That's the natural position.
What?
Right hand to the man. We need to probably get Duke Manyweather back on the show since it's the off season, right? But that was his words. That was his words.
God.
Not mine.
Those were me and Boss Cowboy's words back in week number 5. Okay, that was me and Boss Cowboy's words forever, right? And so here's the thing, man. Look, people say loose lips sink ships, but I'm gonna say this: unhealthy kinships sink ships, and the power struggle and the loyalty to control versus the best ideal and what's going to be best for the team and what's going to be best to show to produce schematically on this field was not put as top priority by the front office, and therefore it matriculated down to the coaches having power struggles and not playing who they really should play. And it killed this team. It killed this team.
Well, okay, so what you're saying, OC, I totally agree. I've been saying this since forever. Really, I said since 2017. I got the video. It says Dallas Cowboys ain't going to a Super Bowl as long as Jerry Jones is running it. Wouldn't see another one, and I just stayed quiet about it. Didn't want to say that no more. You know, I felt like Super Bowl. You had a Super Bowl team this year. You feel me, OC?
Yep.
You had a Super Bowl team this year. And once again, this goes down, and I'm going to pull this point right here. I posted it on my page. Tony Romo in his first 6 seasons, 1-3 in the playoffs. Dak Prescott in his first 6 seasons, 1-3 in the playoffs. So that tells me that is from the top. That is from the top. If these exact things are still happening to a whole different player and players, then that comes from the top. And you just said it. Reason why Lyle Collins came back starting because he makes $10 million a year. That's why he was starting. It wasn't because he earned his spot back. You sat out all of 2020. You had hip surgery because you were overweight. You got suspended the first 5 games of the year for whatever. I ain't going to talk about that. But it's the fact of you were supposed to be a makeup year. This was supposed to be makeup for 2020, and you came in still doing that. And then once again, you have Terrence Steele, who's been busting his butt. Get better and better and better and better. And that's what we wanted, right, folks?
Yep.
That's what we want. We want those type of players that y'all I've heard y'all say, get it from the mud. Terrence Steele was getting it from the mud. You feel me? And getting better and better and better. And even when people was talking about him, I said something about him. And he got better and better and better. And it was like, that's the kind of player you want, who don't listen to the outside, keeps his nose down and keeps working hard. Those are the people that should earn spots and keep spots, especially when it's producing on the field. It's not like he was working hard and the product wasn't showing on the field. Dallas was playing his best football when he was there. And so for you to take a man who's earned that spot and sit him down for somebody who has not earned anything, people from afar on the team, you don't think they look at that?
Yeah.
Everybody sits there and looks at that and says, same old thing. And just like you said, OC, you're cutting off the coaches. It's letting us know that when Mike McCarthy came over here, it proved what we thought was right, that you ain't running nothing. It's still Jerry Jones. You're just here because you coached over with the Green Bay Packers, and he think he can win a championship because he saw you win a Super Bowl over there. So I'm going to bring you over here since you did over there. But guess what? I didn't hear about that, all that nest. It's always over here. So at the end of the day, fellas, it always comes down to the top, man. No matter what the players are, we had a team to win a Super Bowl this year. There's I don't care what nobody tell me this year, and you still fall short. That's got to be the top, man.
That is.
Let me sprinkle this in right quick.
And then y'all gonna have to let me get in too,
I'm
dog.
gonna
Got
let you
Lord
get-
have
I'm
mercy
gonna
now.
It's hopscotch. It's hopscotch. But let me just say this one time. I jumped in. Now it's time for me to go right again. But let me just say this. Let me just
Go
say this
ahead,
right
big
quick. Let me
dog.
just say this. I got off the phone with my brother, and we was talking about, politics within football, and he said one thing that his 49ers don't do is the politics part of it. He said the 49ers went out and got Mohamed Sanu. Y'all remember him? He was supposed to be the third wide receiver, but they got this guy named Jawan Jennings. Y'all remember him? They call him Third Down Jennings because that's who Garoppolo liked to go to on third down. For 4 straight weeks, Jennings been eating. He's been owning that spot. Mohamed Sanu was perfectly healthy, but they said, you know what? You lost that spot, buddy. Hey, I don't care how much money you're making more than Jennings, but we're going to get Jennings on the field because they've been on this winning spree. They didn't want to touch it. And another part of it, I believe my guy, Big Game James, called him Josh Normal. You remember him?
Yeah.
Hey, when he got his butt whooped, hey, he was still silent, trying to say, hey, how can I get out there on the field? No, these young bulls, these young guys has outplayed you and outperformed you. We're not putting you back out there.
Oh.
That's not happening in Dallas, man. That ain't happening. I promise you my bottom dollar. But that's the story of a different day. I just had to put that out there for you guys to hear.
Okay, can I go?
Let me go in.
Y'all got me so wired up. I was not even expecting y'all to go here, bro. But
I'm ready to go again. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, because this is upsetting, bro. Because we do honestly feel like we got played, bro.
We got played.
Look at this. See, the OC said something, and it stuck with me since he said it. He said Kellen Moore was a Trojan horse. Anybody who know the story know that the Greeks was fighting Troy, right? And the Greeks was tired, losing. So the only way they could get an advantage was to seem like they surrendered, and they gave Troy a horse as a symbolic symbol of surrender. But it never was surrender. It was always a trap. And so when it came in, the people of Troy thought it was over. They celebrated. They was like, oh yeah, we finally not fighting. Jason Garrett is gone. Y'all see where I went there? Y'all see where I went? Jason Garrett is gone.
Man. Wow.
But he was never gone.
Wow.
Deep down, we got us a Scott Linehan that snuck in the back damn door.
Ooh.
Boss.
Yo,
I'm so real.
Yo,
listen to this.
It stuck with me. When the OC said that, I was like,
you said that, OC, you was a beast. I'm going to give it to you.
He said that, bro.
I want to hear you some more, OC. I'm going to just say this real quick, and then you got it, OC. I just want to say this. I said this from the very beginning when Kellen Moore came over here with Scott Linehan. I said this was the Garrett 2.0.
Yep.
Because if you look how he came, Garrett came over as a quarterbacks coach. Then he was the offensive coordinator. Then he became the head coach. What was Kellen Moore? He was a Kellen Moore.
It's real.
Was a quarterbacks. He was a quarterbacks coach. Now he's the offensive coordinator. Look at their ages when Garrett came over. Look at the age when Kellen Moore came over.
Yep.
You feel me? God. It's like the second they were setting it up to be him to be the next head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. And you probably brought Mike McCarthy in to be your hedge guy. He could just be your hedge guy, kind of like Wade Phillips was the hedge guy. Remember we got Wade Phillips and he was the hedge guy. But as soon as he went to the playoffs the year before. The year before he went to the playoffs, they started off bad, and who got the axe quickly and who took over? I'm just saying. Go ahead, OC.
So put in the chat one more time, hashtag straight business, because I'm telling you, I'm straight business. And I'm going to tell y'all something else.
Hold on real quick. Hold on, OC.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
Go ahead.
Straight business. Business, not business. Business. So listen, there's a difference. Because we've said this, and we have to learn to be more granular, okay? That's podcasters. So I gotta be more granular. We got to learn how to be more detailed. Because I've said, oh, Super Bowl talent. A lot of people say, oh, Super Bowl talent. No, this is not a Super Bowl team. This is a team that has Super Bowl talent. And we got to distinguish between the two. When I coach in businesses and consult, I say, no, you got to be more granular. Well, this person has the attributes. What does that look like? Well, they can be great. What do you mean be great? Define great. Define Super Bowl. See, we have Super Bowl talent, but we don't have Super Bowl tendencies. There's a difference. We don't have a Super Bowl culture. There's a difference. You've had teams with less talent that were Super Bowl teams because of culture, because of execution, because of commitment to work, and because of loving the work. Super Bowl teams are committed to the grind. Super Bowl teams are focused on the next opponent. Super Bowl teams show up motivated. Super Bowl teams are physical at the point of attack. I don't care what Super Bowl team you say. You can even go to the greatest show on turf, the run and shoot. Guess what they could do? The LA Rams underneath Kurt Warner. Guess what they could do? They could run a football. You can say whatever you want about the Kansas City Chiefs when Pat Mahomes came back and they end up winning. You know why they won? Because Pat Mahomes wasn't playing good in that Super Bowl. You know why they won? Because they could line up and run that football. And they could get a key stop on third down. There's a difference between Super Bowl talent and Super Bowl tendencies.
Amen. I come here to tell you.
Well,
Oh.
and the Lord said, I'm gonna do a dance. Dun, 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 dun,
He
dun,
helped
dun, 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 dun,
Get out
dun,
the
dun,
island.
dun,
Yes.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Man. So I'm gonna say some things honestly, man, just to just keep it real. It's also some things that we gotta learn as fans, right? Let's be all the way honest. We got caught up with debating each other. We did. Instead of really trying to listen to each other. Because I'm gonna be honest, the OC and I was treated like we was trying to have a favorite with Steel. And that never was the case. That never was the case. It was always the case that Law, Big Game James, me, and the OC is always trying to fight our ways to truth. That's why we honestly got this. Come on, let's keep it real.
Hey, I love being a Cowboy.
You keep it real.
Big Game James.
Yeah.
Game changer.
Hey, let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it.
So everybody watched us fight. We occasionally fight, right? But the whole purpose is to debate each other to truth. You know what I mean? And I think we've shown how to do that on this channel. Straight up. I think all of us as different YouTubers and podcasters have shown that. But I think the fan base got divided. And some people pick Lyle, some people pick Collins. Not enough people pick Tate. Woo! Big, you gone? You out?
No, I'm here.
Oh, I thought I said, oh, you shake your head. I thought you said your mic was tripping. Yeah, but
No,
Yeah.
a lot of people didn't pick Tate, keeping it at 100. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't think it was possible to do more work than what we've shown on the final word. Remember, all four of us put those boys on film. We put Steele on film. We put Lyle on film. And we showed it early. And this was the vision and the warning that all four of us were saying. We were saying, it's not about these regular ass season opponents. We kept saying this, Law. Like we kept saying this. All of us were saying it's about who we getting ready to see.
Yep,
But it was week 6. And we were saying that around week 6, people was trying to be right. Like, I'm going to give an example. It's some people that believe La'el was a favorite. I was like, and it's people that believe that. I'm not, if you believe that, that's fine. But you got to think about it. Those of us who have kids, you never know when a kid is favored unless they're what? Bad.
Right.
You heard me, Lo. Did I say that? Lo, did I say that?
Yeah, that's real.
You don't know if a kid is favored until the first bad. Still was never damn bad. He's a good kid. So he's getting what he deserved. He's getting what a good kid. So you give good kids gifts. You deserved to start. You was one of the hardest workers. You showed it on the field versus Bosa. The guy that was the bad kid was La'el. So when the fact that y'all gave him his job back, that's favoring, not the guy who was the good kid. So, man, yeah, I'm with you, Big. That's upsetting. But we need to learn from this. We all need to learn from this. We need to learn how to debate each other without pride.
Pride come before the fall. Let me tell you this, Boss Cowboy and everybody that's watching. You know the similarities between the Globetrotters.
Of course.
Y'all you familiar with them?
Mm-hmm.
You know the similarity between them and the Cowboys?
Mm-mm.
They got all of the talent, but no championship. If you ever think about it, because everybody go out there to see them do all of the miracle plays, the bouncing of the ball in between the leg, the spices and everything, the slam dunks, the in between, the travel walk, the hiding the ball. That's what we do. And that is what Jerry Jones has mastered in these last 25 to 26 years, is assembling the Globetrotter mentality. You see, the Globetrotter, they got plenty of talent. We don't know if they can beat the Golden State Warriors. We don't know if they can beat the Chicago Bulls. You don't know if they can beat any team that's in the NBA. But you for damn sure, excuse my French, know that they got talent.
Right.
And right now, I come here to tell you guys that if this particular team, because I know you got it somewhere in the queue,
I do.
whereas we got to look at the system that they embodied versus the scheme, which is Vorden's. There's no scheme. There's no, hey, if they decide to play cover 2, when you're naturally supposed to run on that. My brother said, man, I thank God that the Dallas Cowboys didn't wake up and understood that they could run on the edges. But instead they threw into the teeth and they threw routes. Whereas they know for sure, which was the strength of the 49ers, and they didn't take advantage of the middle of the field nor attacking, running on the edge. And he watched every single 49ers game. And he said, man, did you guys know that y'all held us even on defense to 2.8 yards per rush? Defense played amazing. Defense had a hiccup in the first quarter, but outside of that, your defense played amazing.
They sure did.
It was just your offense didn't take advantage of the situation. As relates to the middle of the field was wide open because he didn't see no drags, no hook curls in the middle of the field. It was all verts and comebacks. Somehow, that's Dak Prescott's fault and the offensive coordinator fault, right? But that was his words from his mouth to my ears. Unbiased.
3, 2, 1, drop it.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
Drop it hard.
Let's go.
It's time to do.
Ooh, hey, Big.
Yo.
I got to go to another one of your tweets, big dog.
Get it.
What's up?
God, dog. Because you and Law, we could go all day on y'all tweets. Let me show this one, bro. Because, see, this boy, listen. Oh, my. Look at this one. Now, he said this January 5th. Oh, my. I'm going to just pause.
Can you repeat that date?
January 5th. This dude was on some prophetic stuff. Prophetic Prophetic. Me too. I'm gonna brag on me too. Me too.
you was on
Hey,
that Prophetic
Jay.
with Coop.
Yes,
What's
we
the lottery
was.
numbers, baby? Hey, Jay, what those lottery numbers are, man?
Yoga fire. Yoga.
Hey, I'm gonna get him off Boss too, because he was prophetic off of Cooper.
Say, for real. Say, listen, we gonna talk about this though. Cause see, hold on, before we talk about this is why we should, cause some people looking at this, they like, this is a negative show. Listen,
No, this a real
you
show.
got to talk about the end of the season and the Trojan horses and the errors that we found so that we can solve them in the off season. But if we just put our heads in the sand, we ain't gonna never get no better. So let's tackle this, because this boy big. Hold on, bro. Let me go back to this. Let me go back. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Leave me alone, J Form D. I'm from Mississippi.
Here we go. Here we go. There it is. I was looking for that. All right, here we go. That boy said a few takeaways from the show tonight. Let's start with number 1. I'm gonna do number 1 and number 2. Oh my God, boy, you was killing it. He say possible lowballing of Cooper. This is the reason he is coming out in the media. Oh, whoa. And then number 2, this is January 5th. Straight business is what the OC said. That we have to make that a segment. Straight business.
Straight business.
Straight business. All right. Coach Mike McCarthy needs to take more control and authority on the. I'm gonna stop with them too. Authority on the offense. Ooh, let's talk. Go big. God.
Well, first of all, the first one with Cooper, I'm gonna give y'all the credit. Y'all threw it out in the air because y'all had another excellent show. Please go check out that show when you were talking about Amari Cooper today and the possible releasing of Cooper. Please go watch that show. It was a great show that y'all did. I really appreciate that. You always be spitting good knowledge, boss. You be ahead of the times. You be ahead of your times. Things that I have been kind of seeing, you guys kind of opened up. So just to keep talking about it, that Amari Cooper thing, you guys were talking about it, about watch what's going to happen with this Amari Cooper thing. Watch what's going to happen. You're going to see it's rumblings now, but it's really going to get real loud when the offseason comes. And here it comes. It's already getting loud because, when I had George Teague on the show, and this is where we got these bullet points because I had George Teague on the show. And the reason why I wanted to bring him on was because he had been in these Cowboys meeting rooms. He had been in the quarterback's rooms. He had been in these meetings. That's why I brought him on. I wanted to hear the real. So when we first talked about Cooper, he's like, look, man, I had to go through pay cuts and people try to sit me down so I couldn't get my $500K. I had to deal with that. So that money thing is real. And he says, when you're hearing this thing about Cooper coming out, OC had brought it out maybe a few shows ago, how he was the third most targeted player on the team behind Dalton Schultz and CeeDee Lamb. Reason why they want to do it, and how you were saying it, boss, that Linebacker, that we don't give it to one main guy. We don't just do that here. We don't do that, and he don't know nothing but Linebacker and Garrett. And we saw what they did to Dez, Cole Beasley, and things of that nature. So you see it rectifying itself again. Amari Cooper is the third most targeted player on the team. Now here's a way you can come out and say, well, you're not the guy no more. You had the year before, you had regular quarterbacks, and you had career numbers. We get the man back, and you the third most targeted player on the team, or you got third most catches. We're going to have to maybe restructure or might have to take a pay cut because you're not getting them numbers like them other guys. That's why he said Amari Cooper came out in the media and said, no, it ain't me. I'm still one of the best in the game. You give me the ball, I can beat everybody's numbers. I can match anybody in here. So it ain't me that fell off. It's I'm not getting the ball, but I don't have no control of that. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
And then just to bounce off what you said again on the Cooper thing before I go to McCarthy, now I feel like could this be a Dez Bryant situation? Because we remember when Dez and the Joneses were getting into it, especially with Steven, and he's messing with the money. I see Amari Cooper being, to me, rebellious in their eyes because they was mad about that vaccination stuff. Remember, we talked on the show a few weeks ago, and I told you about that vaccination thing, right? So that's the little thing they was already mad at. And then you see Cooper go to the Mavericks game. I've seen Cooper with a mask many a times. Now I seen Cooper at the Mavericks game with no mask. Then I see him at the championship game, no mask. Okay, now you get fined $14K. Now y'all beefing. They was already talking about it in the air, and now you're going out and throwing out those things like, it's whatever. I'm going to go do what I want. You know what I mean? And then now all of a sudden, boss, we hear the first thing you hear on Twitter, oh, Amari Cooper could be a casualty. I mean,
the first thing you hear.
The first thing you hear, he could be a casualty. You know, they could restructure, blah, blah, blah. Bam.
Bam.
So, and like you put, I put it, you put it, and so it begins.
And so it begins.
All set up.
Yep.
And y'all are so seenable, the Joneses, and this is why the fan base gets frustrated with you.
Yep.
We don't ever want to talk about you, Jerry Jones, ever. But y'all do these things to make you bring yourselves back up, and why the Dallas Cowboys are frustrated. To point two, there's another frustration because everybody like, let's get a veteran coach. I wanted a veteran coach, but you are still pulling the strings, Jerry Jones, on Mike McCarthy. He never came over here like an authoritative coach. He came over here that I'm still running this. You're just going to be the guy because you won over there and you got a championship. So let me come over here. But he's never been able to take control of the offense. George Teague said he sat in the meetings with Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy. He said Mike McCarthy would just sit there and not say anything. Now that was George. Thank you, George T. Because once he said that, everything that I was thinking about some McCarthy and some feelings, and I was like, what? He said, man, he ain't saying nothing. And he was saying, certain point in time, you got to act like a coach up in here. This is his words. Go to the show. He says it in his words. God, he says, sooner or later, you're going to have to step up and be the coach and not just be happy I'm a coach of the Dallas Cowboys. He said, so what? He's like, you was like a kid in a candy store when you got hired for what Jerry Jones hired you. He said, you need to start being a head coach and taking control and saying things. You need to say things to Kellen Moore. If things aren't right, you need to take over. You was an offensive coordinator for how long? You've been in offense since the early 90s. So don't tell me you don't know how to do it. And don't tell me if you got a top team like you got right now, like you had, there was no reason why you shouldn't have already been coming in that playoff game. Like, if this dude is tripping, I'm taking over. Because we ain't going to be falling off like this because my job is on the line. And I'm not losing my job because of you. So I'm going to take this over. And the fact that we be hearing that he's not doing that, that's the concerning thing about taking control of the offense, because you've been there and done that. That was Kellen Moore's first playoff game, his first playoff game as a coordinator. And you saw what happened. And I just want to say one last thing on that. I seen a tweet, all right, and I like this. Chris Sims, I don't be listening to him all the time, but he did say something. He said, Dallas is a sticks team. They run all the routes to the sticks. Oh, my God, that's so true. That's zero creativity. Scott Linehan, .2, Linehanish. No crossing routes, pick plays, scheming guys open makes it impossible for Dak to succeed versus above average defenses.
I got a new name.
I got a new name.
Kellen Linehan. Frill. Kellen Linehan. Hey, Big, where that video with Teague? I'm on your page.
It should say it on the title. Where is it at?
Hey,
you should see it. I
just finished watching Game of Thrones. While you looking for it, I just finished watching Game of Thrones. So that will put Mike McCarthy, because I know I'm late on Game of Thrones. So that would put Mike McCarthy as one of the unsullied, right?
I'm gonna pull it.
Whoa!
He's one of the
unsullied. Big, whenever you find it, let me know, bro, because I want to point everybody to that video with George T.
Okay.
Oh,
man, let me unpack a couple of things real quick, guys, because this is really, really important. You see, when Mike McCarthy came here, and me and Boss Cowboy talked about this a couple shows ago, but check out Boss Cowboy Sports, where I mentioned, and it's worth mentioning again, you see other people of stronger personalities and convictions turn down this job. That's what we don't get. Mike McCarthy wasn't the only coach to interview for this job. He got the job underneath the condition that you let our boy have power, which he understood. I'm taking the money to give up my power. I'm going to take the 25 mil to give up control. So my contention is that it was never about the Dallas Cowboys winning Super Bowls. It was about the Dallas Cowboys appeasing to the fan base to continue to be one of the most popular and one of the most recognized brands in the entire world. Let me transition to prove my point further. Remember the terms under which we signed Amari Cooper. It was a quick overnight signing when the Washington Redskins were about to sign Cooper.
The Washington football team.
Washington football team, excuse me. Now the Washington football team. So I don't believe that the Cowboys really ever wanted to pay Amari Cooper the amount of money they paid him. They paid him to keep him away from a rival. When we got the new 88, that was the plan to establish the new 88 working through Kellen Moore. That was the plan. Boss Cowboy alluded to this before on a previous show. Even though he was the best wide receiver, that being Amari Cooper, the plan was to build him up. Why? Because it's good for business. It's good for marketing. The new 88, CeeDee Lamb, the new shiny toy.
God.
Can you see it? Now, listen, the opt-out year is this year for Amari Cooper's contract, which, by the way, is fully guaranteed for 2022 because we're past the fifth day in the league year. So he signed $100 million, $40 million guaranteed, which now is $60 million because his salary in 2022 is guaranteed because we're past the fifth day of the league year. So if you opt out now, okay, fine. But the plan from the beginning was to keep the marketing engine going, and it was never to fully pay Amari Cooper. What we paid him to keep him away. It's kind of like what happened to my daughter. She went to this club. My daughter plays club volleyball, and she's one of the top players in Texas. All right, 14 years old. And
shout out to you.
One club, and I won't name the clubs, but they're popular national volleyball clubs. She plays at one of them. But one of the clubs, they offered her a spot on their team when they found out another team that's a chief competitor was offered her a spot. That's the only time they offered her a spot. When they found out one of the other top clubs, which was a rival, offered her a spot. My contention is that the same thing happened with Amari Cooper. I'm going to keep my talent away from strengthening your team. Okay, overnight, bam, we'll pay him. Before then, Amari Cooper had no contract until he had that offer from the Washington football team.
Facts.
Fatality.
Hey, y'all want to see something?
That was straight up facts.
I want to see a dead body.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
I want to see a dead body.
I did this on the show earlier. I ain't gonna go through it as detailed as I did the last one, but this is a whole list of people that got more targets than Amari Cooper. Some of the people on this list is downright insulting. All right, let me click on that.
Did you equate the amount of games or the average per game? Because somebody hit me up with that stat the last time you did it in my chat.
Yeah, on the last time, and I could pull that one up. That's on the lines, but most of these guys missed a game or two.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Good.
So I ain't hearing all that. We can get into it in even more details with lines, but it's still. Listen, okay, I don't care. Should Mark Andrews have more targets than Amari Cooper?
No.
Should Marquise?
Should Deontay Johnson?
Daryl
Mooney?
Paul Mooney's son.
Dog.
Daryl Mooney? What?
Daryl Mooney, bro. Terrell McLaurin. Mike Williams, the number two. The number two at the Chargers.
Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz. Michael Pittman.
Hunter Renfro, dog.
Chris Godwin. Jacoby Myers.
Look at CeeDee Lamb. That's the key right there.
CeeDee Lamb got more targets than Cooper. Oh, man. It did. Listen, bro. He is tied with Schultz.
You keep on talking. I got to hit my button.
Shame. shame.
Shame.
This is a
I love
shame.
shame.
This is a shame.
Shame. I love shame.
Shame. Now
Shame.
listen.
Shame. Shame.
One more time, Law. One more time. Please.
Shame.
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 The Cowboys
I love
are
it.
blessed. They
I
blessed
freaking
because
love
they
that
got
one.
a
Shame.
Shame.
receiver. Because if it was anybody
Shame.
else, can you imagine the playmaker, Michael Irvin? That's right ball. Oh, that's right ball.
Shame.
That's right ball. Ain't no way.
That's a shame. Hit it again,
Shame.
Law.
Shame.
Shame.
Oh,
Shame.
Shame.
it's gonna be a shame.
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 Hey, Kellen Moore.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
Bruh. Oh, bruh.
I will make it my business. I'd have been, you know what, when T.O. was saying that Jason Witten and Tony Romo is drawing up plays in the dirt, I would have been like, Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, draw up plays in the dirt. Because
Something.
ain't no way, baby. Ain't no way. I saw one game, he had 4 targets. Hey, on top of that, even in the last 4 games, CD Lamb, he didn't have more than 5 targets in the last 4 or 5 games, bro.
He only started getting targeted when he went to the media. They was finna try to make Cooper look like a bum.
Shame.
Yes.
Right.
Fact.
And he goes
Facts.
send one of the greatest guys off his release. Off the release. Look, I kid you not, Tyreek Hill got a video on YouTube, and he said, man, I watch Amari Cooper get off of his release because it's dope. It's nasty. So you mean to tell me that one of the guys with the greatest release work is not even getting a target? You can't line him up inside and say drag it across the middle, but you run this man on a curl, a comeback, button hook. That's all you do? Oh my goodness. I'm done, man. Y'all go ahead and talk.
Hey, Law. Hold on real quick. I got to
3, 2, 1, drop it.
man.
Remember, you're listening to nothing but the best.
God,
Let's go.
dog. And I'm gonna come behind it, Law, with my button. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. So, this is the measured part. All right, I want to talk about the measurements real quick because we want to talk about how I think, should handle this Cooper situation. Let me just be real with everybody. I ain't gonna take long either. So, my boy Big Game James on the Fit definitely made a key prediction. I said this on the 4th. And this is happening right now.
Yep.
Big Game see it. Because I saw it from his Twitter, right? He said, I said Cooper will be attacked by the Dallas local media this offseason. But the real problems is he was always under targeted. And I put this dude's face like that's my face looking at them dudes.
Pooh Shiesty.
Yes,
That was some Pooh Shiesty stuff they did to him. Pooh Shiesty.
Right.
Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty.
And that's what they're doing right now. But I'm going to tell you what we need to do, and then we can move on to the next subject. Man, we don't need to let that happen. And matter of fact, I don't think it's going to happen. You know why? When I went to Law Page, right? I'm going to show my boy Law Page, all right? I'm going to go to videos. I'm going to show you the video where he went fed. Okay, let me find it. Where is that? Because he make about 10 videos a day. Hold on, let me see. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I found it. There it is. All right, listen. This is my boy Law. All right, I'm gonna show you something. That's, to me, it's almost like the power of the people. Because I do want to talk about some more football stuff. But check this out. Look at my boy comments and look at what they saying. You know, I put a comment in there, and let me see if I hit the like button, or was I? Yeah, see, I hit my like. See, y'all caught me doing the right thing, big dog. Yeah, I hit my like. See, that was real
Not him
too.
I like.
Yeah.
That was
I didn't have to hit that.
Shame.
Shame.
Ooh, I would have been busted.
Shame.
Ooh, that would have.
Shame.
Ooh, that would have looked nasty.
Shame.
You doing all this endorsement and then you hit a like. My dog
Or
got
you hit an unlike. Ooh, it'd be like, oh, you unlike
Ooh,
that.
you hate. You shady.
You hate.
You hate. Why you hating on the homie? But look, just look at the comments. More has to go. Didn't Amari Cooper come in, help and save the Cowboys? This might set us back. It is not the same without Cooper. My point is this. Cooper got the power of the people. Y'all hear me out? See, because we always say, win the crowd, win your freedom, right? We always say that.
Right.
See, because when it was Dez, it was easy to be, he's a distraction. Let's get him out of here. Cut him. But when you got the power of the people making noise, like, no, man. Jerry and them got them. They might not want to.
Boy, you go bloody with it.
I'm telling the truth, Lo. I'm looking.
Are you not entertained?
I'm telling the truth, Lo. When I looked through the comments, you can't get Cowboys to agree that the sky is blue when it's blue. But it ain't nobody in here that want to see Cooper gone. And look, Law got 515 comments on this.
Right.
So we got to continue to let our voice be heard. Like, yeah, I hear you, all you media people that's sucking up, trying to get Cooper fired. We see what you're doing. You know what I mean? Y'all the hand, y'all the minions for Jerry. We see it. But get rid of Cooper if you want to. Get rid of the
What's
dude.
going to happen? It's going to be a big setback.
Yeah.
It's going to be a major setback. If you let go of Amari Cooper, it's going to be a major setback. And they're going to, I mean, CD Lamb, I love you, dog. But
yeah, I low-key blame you and the OC too, though, bro. You and the OC.
can't blame us.
Yeah,
Don't you blame
because
us.
y'all called
You're
him the
not gonna
game
blame
changer,
us.
bro. Hold on real quick, bro.
I love
Ah,
the
you see
Cowboys.
it?
Game changer.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time, man. Let's kick it. Now run away from he wasn't game changing. So you can go ahead and say, I gave you your flowers and said he was the man at the end of the year.
Yeah, I'm
But
messing with you,
at
dog.
the beginning of the year, he was game changing.
He was. I'm messing with you, dog. You know I had to get you, big dog. You and the OC. You already know, bro. You opened up your chin for it. This is what you did. You said, here. So I was like, B.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
But no.
But you know what
it.
keeping Coop level headed because
Yeah.
Dez didn't have this. You know, you can't find a video of Amari Cooper saying, "Fix this."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's like,
Right.
like if
Yes.
Cooper's that type of guy, they can really piece those
Right.
videos
That's a
together,
perfect
even though
thing,
it's
Law,
out of
what you did.
context.
Perfect.
You know,
Yep.
yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, and then
Give
they
him a
can just
perfect.
play that on relay.
Oh yeah,
you
he
know?
getting a perfect.
Give him a perfect.
No
Give him a
doubt.
Perfect on that.
Perfect.
That was
Say,
perfect right there.
no, that was perfect. Yeah,
Because that's real. Because
That's
that's
real.
the reason why Stephen Jones was like not messing with. I mean, let's really think about it. You know, when he had his last blow up in that Seattle game. Remember that Seattle game where he blew up, and that was to me
God,
like
yeah.
the beginning of the end when he had that sideline blow up, and Steven saw it. You could just kind of look at his face like that's the end. That's all. That ain't happening no more. And like you said, Law, Coop is that even kill guy. Coop is not that guy that does that. So it makes it even harder, especially when the people start rallying for him. And he's not out there being rambunctious or he's very professional. So it's going to be super hard and it's going to bad on the organization. And one thing the organization don't want to look bad
To the
just
fans.
Bouncing off what you just said, boss.
Yep, win
and
the
what
crowd.
you said, Law. Y'all both perfect on what you said. If we keep on chanting it louder than those minions, like you said, in the Dallas media, we can keep Cooper here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ain't gonna want to.
And one thing,
but he got to.
that can just eradicate all of this, and I said this, I believe, on my last live feed. If the Dallas pretty much in-house guys say, "Hey, we have every intentions to keep Amari Cooper on his team. All of those news that you guys hearing is just hearsay. Amari Cooper is our guy. If they come out and say that before the end of this week or within 2 weeks, all is well. But he haven't said it yet. Just like there's a division between the coaching of Mike McCarthy. You know, Mike McCarthy, it seems and appears that it's a John Stephen Jones hire because he said absolutely. Mike McCarthy is our head coach. But the owner, Jerry Jones, didn't say anything. He said, look, we still looking at everything for right now. I don't want to talk about it.
Lord.
So those things right there, if you know, look, I'm just using this as an example. If you know that Beyonce is your wife, you're going to say, I'm married to Beyonce. That's my lady. You know what I'm saying? That's mine right there. Y'all can have everything else, but don't touch mine. Jerry's not doing that. Jerry's not saying that's mine right there.
He not doing that.
He literally said, I believe in Jason Garrett can take us to the promised land and win us a Super Bowl. He never spoke ill of Jason Garrett, but he's not saying that same energy with Mike McCarthy.
So facts.
Hey,
see,
Law.
Let me add one thing real quick, Big. It's real big too. It's quick. It's quick, and then you got it, Big. He also said, I absolutely
fumbling the bag.
Yeah, I'm fumbling right now.
Live. Fumble. That's why you should have gave it to me. You straight fumble. Give him
hold on.
Give yourself
hold on. I gotta give myself something else too. Hold on.
Give yourself
it's at the tip of my tongue. I'm not gonna quit though because it's important.
Yourself right now.
He said, hold on.
There you go.
Yeah, he said.
There you go.
He said, I absolutely confident. Okay, this is why that word confident is so important. Because confident is never saying 100%. It's sneaky business terms. Think about it. I'm confident. That's not an absolute term. I'm 100% confident. See, you being slick with your words so you can back out of it. Well, I said I was confident, but I wasn't the final decision. The reason why I said confident, because Jerry made that decision. I think they being slick with it, bro. Yeah, I did have a fart. I had a brave fart. That was a bad one too. That was a straight up.
Yeah, I was, because we was all waiting for the drop. Yeah, give yourself another one. I appreciate that. Hey, but just bouncing off what you just said, Law, about the hire. Was it a big, was it a Stephen Jones hire or Jerry Jones? When I was talking to one of my guys and he has some information about when he tells me the story all the time about when Jason Garrett, the 2018 game, when Dallas lost in that Rams game and they ran all over him, he said Jerry was ready to fire Jason Garrett. He was done. But it was Stephen Jones like, come on, no, we can go ahead and do it. And that's when he was the lame duck coach for that 1 year because Jerry had enough of it. He had enough of it. He was pissed. He was mad. Yes, Jerry had enough. I got him a guy who I trust him and what he says because he says this to me numerous times. He even said it on my show. So this was a while back. And he said that. So I can only imagine if he felt like that about his son after that game because he was so daggone mad. You saw his face after that game in San Francisco, dog. You saw his face. And one thing we should know about Jerry, if you look at his hiring process, the only person that had a long tenure was Garrett. Everybody else was 4 years. I think Jimmy made it 5, but everybody else was 4, and you was done. You ain't getting a long time with Jerry, so he ain't giving a long leash. And guess what? Mike McCarthy's already 2 years in and 2 years of disappointment in. And Jerry is like, I'm old. But at the end of the day, Jerry and them are still to blame for this. So they can sit there and be mad at a Mike McCarthy, but you're the enabler allowing this stuff to do it. So really you should be mad at yourself.
Yeah, you let the Trojan horse in.
You allowing this to happen. Right?
That's me in the middle right there, y'all. But hey, let me ask you this, Big Game James. that dude beard was good.
Let me check it out. Let me check it out.
Play it again, man. Look at that dude. Not that one. That's a young face. Watch this dude face.
Let me see. Let me see who Law. The white Law. Let me see the white Law.
Yeah.
Thank
you for tuning in to the Law Nation
film. Let me see. This is Law Nation. Let me see.
Right, here we go.
Oh, that is you. That's Law. That's white Law.
That's the white Law. White Law Nation. is the White Law Nation.
Hey, Big A James, was Philip
What's up?
Tanner your pool man? That's how you got him on the show. That's your guy? Philip Tanner,
Me and
remember
Phil,
him?
we cool. We had him on the show. He cool. What's up?
Yeah, we need to reach back out to him to talk about some things about Dak Prescott and the coaching philosophy.
Prescott.
If you can. See, we doing it all live right
we
now.
need to reach back out because you know what?
Philip
Him and guess what? We need to really because him and John Kitten are coached together.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. Hey,
you give the OC
that's who
some
I
shine,
really
man.
want to
Duke. Duke as well.
But
We need to get Duke on here, bro.
yeah,
we need to get Duke,
back
bro.
on. We really need to get some John Kitten on here.
Oh yeah. Hey, I'm gonna flip the topic. All right. From blogging and the boys, the players set to hit free agency. Who we keeping? Who we not keeping? Or what's your general thoughts on it? Let me just say, what's your general thoughts on free agency? Looking at this list.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you mine real quick, Boss Cowboy. This gonna last about 45 seconds because this is gonna be straight business. All right.
Business.
So
Yeah, I got to get you a button.
Brent Urban, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Brian Anchor,
Keep
he's
him.
all right. He's a good punter. Carlos Watkins, he's okay. You could do better. Cedric Wilson, go ahead and re-up with
Okay.
him. Try to re-up with him. Connor Williams, get him out of here. Corey Clement, if you can keep him cheap for depth, keep him cheap. Okay. Schwartz has played well enough to get himself a payday. All right.
Yeah.
That's the thing about him. He's played well enough to get himself a payday, and I don't think you should overpay for him. All right. So DeMonte KD, I'm 50-50 on him. I don't know.
Okay.
Dorrance Armstrong, you ain't did enough. All right.
Not enough.
Francis Bernard,
Special team.
you can get him cheap.
Special teams.
Give him another chance. Yeah. Jake, how do you pronounce his name? I don't
Just
even know
Jake
who this kid is.
McQuaid.
McQuaid.
Okay, I can't pronounce his name. Get him out of here. All right. Kurt,
You know what?
We did
Curry-
it. We did good
Curry-
this year, man.
First, you got to re-sign him. All right.
Yeah.
Sprinkler has potential. I would say you can do better. You can upgrade with a veteran that can do better. Go ahead, get him out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sprinkler.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sprinkler. Sprinkle.
Sprinkle.
Okay, Sprinkle. I can't read right now. Sprinkle.
Jeremy.
All right.
Sprinkler.
Sprinkle me, baby.
Sprinkle. Okay. Neil.
Right.
Neil, get him out of here. Van Der Esch, get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Luke.
Gifford,
I
leave
am
him here for
your
special
father.
teams.
Mm-hmm.
Malik Hooker, re-sign him. Turner,
So you resign
re-sign him.
both? You resign both Hooker and KZ?
Yeah, I like both of them.
I'm next.
You better.
Like both.
Well, go ahead, keep going. I'm slowing your 45 seconds, man. Go
you
ahead.
good, you
Boy,
good.
you about 3 hours in though, but it's cool. Take your time, the big dog.
All right, no, I'm done.
No, keep going. You going through the whole list. Go,
All right,
bro.
so look.
Finish the list.
All right, so look. Malik Turner, I will re-sign him. Kennedy, if you can keep him at a good price, it's okay. Gallup, he's injured. You got Wilson. You want to re-sign Cedric Wilson. I'm sorry, man. No offense, but this is business. You got the ACL, man. I don't know how your body gonna react. Man, go get paid somewhere else. OT Mitch, get him out of here. Noah Brown, if you can get him on the cheap, it's okay, but I don't care. I think you can do better in the draft and free agency. Gregory, re-sign him. Don't overpay for him, no. And Todd Nasheki, get him out of here, man. We can do way better. Let's draft an OT.
Get out of here.
Hey, man, you know, that boy good.
Big, you up?
All right, I'm up. You got to show the list again. I can't see it.
My bad,
Okay, there
big
we
dog.
go.
There you go.
All right, got a minute. I got a minute.
No, take your
Brent
time.
Urban.
No rush.
Okay.
No rush, dog.
Brent Urban.
Keep going.
I like Brent Urban. See if you can get him back. He was on the 1-year deal. I think you can slide him, and because his wife, I think she really loved Dallas, and I think she's gonna be a main contributing factor keeping him here. So I keep him. I would like to keep Urban. Brian Anger. I definitely like that punter. He did wonders for Dallas in the punting game, pinning people in. definitely keep him in. Carlos Watkins, I can get somebody else for you. You know
He
what
got
I'm
a
saying?
pick six.
Man, I don't care, dog. Carlos Watkins, he was okay. He was average, but I can move on. Cedric Wilson, I think you might outprice yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because you stepping up in the world getting big money. You know what I mean? And so you might have played yourself out of Dallas. And the reason why I'm gonna say that is I ain't gonna throw no big money to you. So if another team goes after you, I'm gonna walk away because I got a guy named Malik Turner over here. I can make a Cedric Wilson part 2. So that's
Boy got the organs.
Yeah, he was preaching on that. I felt that. Go ahead.
Connor Williams, gone. Clement, nah, I'm good on you. Who we got after Clement? Demonte Casey?
Let me get your
Who's after? Schultz?
That is Schultz.
Oh, Dalton Schultz. No, I think Dalton Schultz is gone because he done played himself into some big money. They talking about $11 to $12 million a year. Dallas ain't gonna play that. And you already paying Blake Jarwin. I know Blake Jarwin's injured, but you got the young guy and Sean McKeon. You can get probably another tight end. As much as you love to keep him, that's a lot of money. I don't think you're gonna do that. Demonte Casey, I can get another safety in free agency and I can draft one. So I'm gonna move on from you. Dorrance Armstrong Jr., we can get pass rushers. They grow on trees. We'll go ahead and move on from you. Francis Bernard, we're going to keep you for special teams. Jake McQuaid, I might keep you because you're a long snapper, and you didn't do bad this year as a long snapper. So if I can get you on like an $800,000 deal, I'm definitely going to do that. J-Ron Kearse, your priority to me. I definitely want to make that happen, especially if I keep Dan Quinn. But not going to go and break the bank now because guess what? You did this in Dallas. You was okay at Detroit. I don't know if you would be a wrecker anywhere else in a different system, so I'm not gonna overpay for a Curse. That's just me. I like it. I'm not gonna overpay for you though. Jeremy Sprinkle, I'm good on you. Keanu Neal, I'm definitely good on you. Bye. LVE, bye. Luke Gifford, I want to keep you for special teams, and I still may think you can grow some. So I'm definitely going to come at you. I want Malik Hooker back, so I'm gonna do some negotiating with you because main thing I want to see with you was health, and you was healthy, and you started really coming on at the end of the year. Plus, you big and got size. I like that. That's why I'm taking you over Casey. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with that. Malik Turner, you're the guy that I might be replacing Cedric Wilson with because if he wants to say, hey, I want to get money, thank y'all, I got to get money, Malik Turner's going to slide right into your spot and be that guy. Maurice Kennedy, I keep you on the super cheap because you always need cornerbacks. So I'm going to keep you in because you didn't really get to show this year. So we'll keep you another year if you're super cheap. Michael Gallup is the one where I'm kind of hedging because you got that injury and you're gonna come cheap now. Nobody gonna want no dude that's got a torn ACL and you ain't gonna be healthy till the middle of the year.
Yep.
So maybe I can throw a little small deal to you and you take it and say, let's see what happens in a couple years. So I might throw a little deal at Gallup because I like you, Gallup, and you good in the community too. So I might throw a little deal at you because now you're not going to be as expensive as you were before because of the injury. So I think I'm going to throw a little something at Gallup. Mitch Hyatt, bye. Noah Brown, bye. Randy Gregory, I'm bouncing off the OC. I like you, Greg, and I'm going to throw you some money, but I'm not overpaying for you. You're 30 years old, and even though you ain't got a lot of tread on your tires, if I throw a big deal at you, it could be 34, 35. No, we're going to keep it like reasonable. You're going to get money, but it's going to be reasonable. If you try to jump out there crazy, we're going to draft again, okay?
Incentives.
And Tyler Shesky, bye.
Oh, my God. Oh, it's my turn, huh?
You gonna take it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'll take it. Brad Urban, yeah, you keep him only if the cup of coffee is cheap. Brian Anger, second team, all-pro. You keep the punter. Carlos Watkins, I believe that the Cowboys need to get bigger inside, so he's kumbaya. He's gone. All right, Cedric Wilson. Hey, I might as well look at Cedric Wilson versus Malik Turner and Michael Gallup. I would go with Cedric Wilson for the fact that he's so versatile. Mm-hmm. And Malik Turner, I would go with him. But let's keep down this list. Connor Williams, he's gone. Corey Clement, I bring him back for a cup of coffee. Dalton Schultz, I keep him. I'll absolutely figure out a way, but only at a reasonable pricing. If he asks for the $11 million that Big Game James said, hey, it's Saranara, man. DeMonte KZ, I like what you brought to the table, but it's not enough. I need to see Izzy McComru. I need to see a little bit more from Hooker. I'm telling him he's gone. I need to evaluate that. We need to draft a freaking safety, by the way. Dorrance Armstrong, he's gone. Francis Bernard, he's here. Special teams warrior. Jake McQuaid, he's here. J. Ron Curse, go and look at Michael Parsons' tweet. He just tweeted out, pay the man. If you got a chance, Boss Cowboy,
I'll pull
up that tweet for me right quick.
That came from who?
It's under Parsons. He got a tribute from Parsons. Yeah, it's like 3 slots down. I just seen it. Shout out to you, Lady Jackie, for sending that out to me. All right, so Jeremy Sprinkle, he's gone. Keanu O'Neal, he's gone. Cowboys, please, for the love of God, draft another linebacker to match up. We know that Jabril Cox is on the team, but it's still a wait and see with him because we haven't seen him in multiple games. LVE, I believe that he's one of the favorites within the confines of the locker room and also within the confines of the staff. You know, they don't like to give up on their boys, so they might give him another 1-year offer prove-it deal. That's just how that goes. Luke Gifford, he's staying. Malik Hooker, like I said, with those safeties, it's going to be a situation where they're going to either keep Hooker or get rid of Hooker or keep DeMonte KZ or get rid of KZ. That's up to determine during the offseason. But I would rather have Hooker over KZ and anyone else as relates to that free agency. Maurice Kennedy, y'all remember, he was the offseason warrior. He was like one of having the better offseason camps, training camp you can think of. So I believe you bring him back and say, okay, get your mindset together. Let's see if we can get that flow back in this new system for next season, because I think we're going to have a different defensive coordinator. All right. So Mitch Hyatt, he's gone. Noah Brown, he's gone. Randy Gregory, that's the situation there. He will be too good for you to allow him to test the market, right? He's just too good because the market will say, okay, they'll throw all type of crazy money at him. It's a situation that you got to go ahead and pull the trigger on him if you want him. And you saying to yourself, we don't have nobody else can play on that side. So go ahead and pull the trigger, give him a deal, and if he want more money, then let him walk. And Todd Nasucky is sayonara for him. That's my thought.
All right, listen, mine is going to be quick. I'm going to say pretty much this whole list can pretty much, I ain't going to say can go, I expect to go. Except for the punter, Curse, and I think Curse and Malik Hooker are going to be fantastic deals because I've been looking at the safety market. The safeties ain't been getting big contracts. You know what I'm saying? Remember, Anthony Harris went for $5 million.
Right.
Who was starting over Curse in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying?
Having very good numbers.
Very good numbers. So I'm expecting Curse, you know, the thing about Curse is we love Curse. Do outsiders love Curse?
That's what I was saying.
I don't think so.
Pull up that tweet that Parsons just put out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna show
Boss, you even said it yourself. You told me when Curse when we were first talking about Curse coming over, when he came over in the very beginning, you said just because he didn't get no time in Minnesota and he got some work in Detroit doesn't mean he's not a good player. It just means that he might not be in the right system. He might not be in the right area. And that's why I say about with Curse is that just because you did that here, I don't know if Curse goes to another team and is doing what he's doing here. You were in the perfect storm.
Right.
You had a coordinator that allowed you to be that guy. The team allowed you to be that. Just because you make money, we've seen it time and time again, Boston fellas. When a guy gets paid and goes somewhere else, he doesn't fit that scheme. He doesn't match into it. The next thing you know, 5 weeks in, 6 weeks in, he's benched. A year later, he's cut. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it time again. So my thing with Curse is, I don't know if you're going to do that somewhere else. So kind of keep your ear here. But it's going to be interesting with the Dan Quinn thing as it relates to Curse, as my dog Law says. That's going to be that key, Curse and Quinn.
Right. Either he's going to be here, or if Dan Quinn go to the Broncos, I'm quite sure that he will be at the
Curse
Broncos.
may go too. Yup.
Right.
If
But
Dan Quinn goes somewhere,
Curse is
Curse
also
following
here
him.
because of
George Edwards. Yeah,
You
George
know what I'm
Edwards.
saying?
Yeah.
True.
So
Yeah.
And
And-
Cowboy, not to cut you off, real quick shout out to JR for the super chat. He said, thanks for the content. Cowboys tighten up the O-line this offseason. Hashtag still them boys, man. So appreciate the super chat, bro. Wanted to tell you thank you real quick. Go ahead, boss.
Oh yeah, that's a fat super
Appreciate
chat.
you.
Yeah, that's a $20, man. Appreciate that.
$20 holla.
I always
I'm
appreciate
rich.
them, dog. Yeah, so yeah, Curse is a priority also because of his leadership. You know what I mean? So I think when you get a guy that can really bring a certain kind of moxie to your defense, which we haven't seen in the back end of our defense, I don't know, man. The last
Big nickel. Yeah.
Church.
I got a question
Since Barry
for y'all,
Church. Barry Church was the last time we really kind of had a solid guy on the back end. You know what I mean? And he not go Barry Church, I guarantee you got way more money than Curse go get. So what you gonna say,
I
Big?
want to ask y'all a question. I want to ask all y'all a question. OC had talked about it. Y'all said it too. This thing with Randy Gregory.
Yeah.
Because I've been kind of, let's talk about this Randy Gregory and the
real.
contract. Because I threw it out there. I said, yeah, I looked at the average salaries and I was like, hey, $10 million a year would be great for Randy Gregory. People like, hey, Randy Gregory ain't taking no $10 million a year. I'm like, well, if he better, because I don't know if them Jones is going to pay him no more than $10 million annually for no 30-year-old guy. So I want to ask y'all, what do y'all think he would make per year? What do you think what would outprice him from the Dallas Cowboys?
If they allow him to test the market, then that's some team is going to throw the bank at him. So the Cowboys just got to jump in there and go ahead and sign him for that $10 million. If that's the case in the scenario,
I think he go be around. To be honest, I think he go be around 12 to 13 million. I think he go command the money that Montez Sweat received. The thing with him, he is, in my opinion, a weird one, right?
Yes.
Because Jerry himself has invested so much into him.
Right.
I can see where you want to overpay because you're like, damn, we put years into finally getting this. You know what I'm saying?
And for you just to walk away.
To let you just walk away. Now, it would take some real balls and moxie. Now, I know Steven could walk away, but will Jerry walk away? This is one Jerry might put his foot down on. This is a tricky one because they worked so hard. Yeah, they invested years. They invested their reputations. They just let this man stay around, and they kept paying him just for the opportunity of what they having now. This is tricky. I would hope, to be honest.
Let me ask you this, though, before you say that.
Yeah.
Is it trickier than, dare I say, than paying Jalen? Remember they paid Jalen Smith?
Jalen was
that trickery?
easier. It was
I think it's trickier because
Jalen,
of mental. This is mental to me.
Yeah, this is mental. Yeah, because this is almost like, in my opinion, see, Jalen was like ready to give a team friendly deal because he was injured, right? So he lost millions not being a top 5 pick like he was projected to be. So when he got a chance to say, okay, you can get millions again, he jumped at it. Gregory, like, I ain't never had no injuries. I got low trad. I'm still good. I can smoke all the weed I want. I can get some money. And I can get some big money. But the thing
Smoke
is,
weed every day.
You said it, I had to hit it. This past postseason game, I was like, man, dog, can he just smoke one and then go play? Because I said, man, what is he doing? If he can just settle there, I wanted to hang Randy Gregory. Come on, Randy Gregory.
Smoke weed every day.
Come on, you antsy, you're offside, you're holding. I'm saying, like, Randy, in the break, Go into the tunnel. Go ahead and roll one. Maybe they'll reel you
They
in.
give come
just a
back
little
because some may
bit.
right. Some may
Some
right
may
right
right.
now. Some may right. You tackling.
Hey,
You
man,
just
one more
tackling
time.
people for no reason.
Hey, one more
You just
time.
tackling people for no
I said-
reason. Why are you
I said,
tackling
Randy,
that man?
man, what you?
Smoke weed every
I
day.
said, God, dog. I said, Randy, what are you doing? You're offside. You're holding. You in the face. The officials were gonna blow another one because you were just got doggone choking somebody. I said, baby, you came a long way, but can you? I was like, man, in halftime, won't you go roll one more time? You know, and he would have been okay. But I said, Randy, what is going on? Offside
Yeah,
again?
man. Nah, when you tackled him, y'all was
You're listening to nothing but Let's go.
Man, I hate Law, bro. Law,
Yeah, that was so real. That's the realest thing you could say about that, dog. You're so true on that, Law. I think we was all
Shout out
thinking
to you,
that.
Randy.
Go smoke, bro. What's going on?
Go roll one, man.
God, dog.
So
Go take a bathroom break.
man. Here's the deal. Here's the deal when you talk about Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory is a freak athlete, but statistically he's underperforming.
Yeah.
And also
Big fan.
he's under discipline, right? Which you can attribute to the coaching staff, in my opinion, or his own lack of mental focus or mental health issues. Here's the conundrum with him. If you pay him in or near the top 10, you're looking at 13 to 15 million per year. So that's what he would command in the open market. So I don't believe that you can re-sign Randy Gregory for less than about $13.5 to $14 million a year. I think in an open market, he can command 15 to 16 a year, because let's look at the top 10 paid defensive ends, okay? Here's the deal. And
Send me that link.
30?
Send me that
30?
link, OC, if you can.
Okay, I'm
At 30
going to
though?
send you the link, bro. Huh?
At 30? He's
Yeah.
30.
Yeah, at 30, man. At 30,
Go ahead,
because
go ahead.
pressure. Yeah, at 30 years old, because pressure and pass rush is a premium. So your top per year average guy in the league right now, deservedly so, by the way, I would say, is Myles Garrett at 25 mil. Okay? Then you got DeMarcus Lawrence. Then you got Leonard Williams. Then you got Frank Clark. Then you got Cameron Jordan. Then you got D4 for the 49ers. Then you got Eric Armstead for the 49ers. He makes $17 million a year. He's averaging $17 million a year. That's Eric Armstead, okay? Then, now, here's a no-name guy who most of them don't even know about, who I don't even think is that good. Trey Hendrickson, defensive end for Cincinnati.
You don't think he's
the
that good?
He's all right.
He makes
He's
15
all right.
million a year.
He's a sack guy, though. Like, he go
he's
get
a
you some
He's all right.
sacks. But, yeah,
Okay.
stopping the run.
Carl Lawson,
Yeah.
15 million.
long.
Okay, look. Danielle Hunter, $14.4 million a year. That rounds out your top 10.
Yeah.
What
So,
you think he gonna
That
get on
rounds
the
out
open market?
But look
I
at the
do-
and
what he gonna get
those
on the open
numbers
market
got
then?
him that contract though. That's what I'm saying. You just said OC, right? He could command that, but he underperformed. He only got what,
Yeah.
6-7 sacks this year?
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's pretty good.
I mean,
with the amount of games
that's
he
pretty
played.
good for the amount of games he played. But we can also say, well, I mean, you know,
We can
what,
also
pass
say you
rushers are
miss
premium.
games. Right.
You miss games.
So the Dallas
But
Cowboys got leverage.
Listen, let me ask you this though, boss, and you guys. I think do you think do you think these other teams will still look at the mental history too?
No.
No.
think so.
Not at this point.
At all.
Yeah, and the reason I say no,
Okay.
because we know how the league is. Whatever they can get away with, they go get away with it. See what I'm saying? So they'll take they'll take balls with issues. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And pay balls with issues. But this is what I hope happened.
It's in your DM, Boss Cowboy.
Okay. This is what I hope happened. I hope that Randy and the Cowboys come together to truly meet in the middle. Because we know how Steven go do. He go demand what? Team friendly. He go demand it. But in this case, in this rare case, I think they almost can demand it. Because they've been very patient with him. He could have been out the league. OC ain't feeling that.
No, you're thinking in terms of reasonability, and you're talking in terms of we did you a solid, help us out. But the OC is talking straight business, okay? And so in
Hold
this
on,
world, man,
you finna be cutthroat, OC? You ain't what?
No, I'm not about to be cutthroat, but the representation seems to land great. I'm telling you straight business. If you gonna look back, you gonna look back. You gonna look back, Boss Cowboy.
I'm gonna look back. All
Right?
right, let me
You gonna
see.
look back. So listen, man. If I'm his free agent, if he's a free agent, if I'm his representation, I'm not going team friendly because of the fact that he is about 30. You only got 3 to 5 prime years left, Randy. We got to maximize this contract right now. What about your family? What about your child? So we need to get what we can get right now. Okay? And we're not taking no $8 million a year or $10 million a year. I'm better than Danielle Hunter that plays for the Minnesota Vikings.
Based on what? What?
I'll take Danielle Hunter right now.
You ain't messed. You
ain't even played.
You missed
I'll
half
take
your
Danielle
first
Hunter.
full season, second full season.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I'm like, if I'm Jerry and them, I'm like, huh?
I'm
You
like,
better
you
based
ain't
on
even
what?
playing.
Wait
Yeah.
a second.
How
I'm
you
giving
better-
you the argument of his team. I'm giving you the argument.
No, I'm
of
with you.
his team.
I'm arguing like I'm Jerry.
Right. Well, to me, my upside and my potential is better. So I at least deserve $14 million.
Yeah, you don't
You can't
deserve.
$12 million.
You
not
what?
getting-
You don't
Right,
deserve
and that's what-
nothing.
And-
You
right,
deserve.
and that's
You
when
should be
Jerry
kissing
and Steve gonna be
Irene,
like,
homeboy.
Yeah.
You could be out the
Exactly.
league. We the
If
ones
it wasn't
who.
for us,
like
you
a
wouldn't still be in the league.
You wouldn't even be in the league without Dallas.
That's Jerry.
Y'all
And I'm
talking like
Steven.
fans.
And I'm
You
talking like
talking like
Steven
fans.
right now. I'm talking like Steven
All right.
right now. You not gonna get that from us because DeMarcus Lawrence was fighting for his money. He
Right.
fought for his money after he got all them sacks. You see what they did for him? He got 14 and a half sacks. They said, I prove it again. He got 10 and a half, and they said, you ain't as good as Khalil Mack. That's what Stephen Jones said.
So what would be the
So if he
tag
said
though
that
for,
about
for,
him-
for Gregory?
Oh, that tag gonna be the average
What
of
the
the
tag
top
gonna be for
5. It's gonna be the average of the top 5. Hold on, let me pull a number. I'll do it now.
Ooh, I don't
So-
Yeah, y'all
Megan?
figure out the
I'ma
tag.
tell
Now,
you,
y'all
I'll
figure
figure
it
it
all
out.
right there.
I'm gonna do it right now.
Pull that tag. Hey, and while you pulling this tag, I got a question from my dog, the lunatic. He gave a super chat, $5 holla. I want to get it out because he always got good questions, and it's a question that's poignant to all of us right here and OC since he played the offensive line. So he got 3 questions. What do we do with 77? Because we ain't talked about that.
Ooh.
71 and McGovern, do they battle for left guard? And do we keep Joe Philbin from this point on? Do we move on from him?
I
Appreciate you.
love this
Great work,
question.
Cowboys for
God,
life.
dog, the lunatic with the.
Game.
So I'll answer the
Yoga
question real
fire. Yoga flame.
quick. So but let me say this because Boss Cowboy's working on that number. The average of your
I got
top
the
5
numbers.
is gonna be about 20 mil, boss.
Oh, hey! No.
It's gonna be about 20 mil.
Yeah, it's
that's what I'm saying.
bruh.
listen.
You ain't
He
getting that.
he
That's my
about
point.
right. I'm looking at it. He right
Yeah,
because
but
they're
that's
gonna look
my
at
point.
that tag
He ain't getting that though.
is the average
getting
of
that,
the
though.
top 5.
That Dallas
The
not going to do
exclusive
about 20
tag.
million.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
They not going. Stephen Jones is not going to do that.
He ain't getting tagged. That
Baby
man gonna hit
Nuts
the
is
market.
Baby Nuts is not tagging him.
Yeah, he hitting the market, fellas.
It's not what you deserve. It's not. Look, it's not what you deserve, guys. That's what I'm telling y'all about this.
You're
This
right.
is why
I'm
it's so
not hating on
complex.
that. I'm not hating on
It's
the
what
player
the
getting that
market
money.
dictates. It's
I
what
want
the
him to
market
get his bag,
dictates.
though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what the market
So-
dictates, but also it's another layer to this. He's also not in the top tiers of defensive ends, right? He's almost considered a defensive end too. That's where Montez Sweat is. That's where his market is. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
It's almost like a receiver 1 and a receiver 2. You know what I'm saying?
But you know what, boss? Check this out. With the threat of Micah Parsons being able to rush the passer,
We got
would it make
leverage.
it easier.
Yeah,
Would it make it
we
easier
got
for them to
leverage.
say, we got Micah Parsons who can rush
Exactly.
the passer, and we can draft somebody else so you can walk.
Yeah, Dallas
That's
got
what they're gonna come at
leverage.
him.
Dallas can
got
sit
all
back
the
like,
leverage.
bruh. For real.
Yeah, but that compromise. Well, go ahead.
You right. You compromise linebacker. I'm with you, Law.
Compromise
Yeah, yeah.
linebacker though.
You
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
that
right,
that will
you're
put a strain on us to have to get it right in the draft or free agency. And you know what we go do, Law? You know the first thing we go do, we go take the pressure right off of us by getting a quality linebacker out of free agency, which then go take the pressure of having to get his contract right.
Mm-hmm. How much space do we have? Go ahead.
Our space looking bad.
Oh, just real quick. I'm gonna answer the question for the lunatic real quick because that's my man. So 77, you're not gonna cut him at this point. You do need to draft a tackle high in the draft to give you the ability to slide somebody else in that can play the left tackle position and groom them for when you need to let him go, which is probably after this next season, okay? Because he's gonna miss 4, 5, 6 games again. And when he's not there, you need a quality option. I think you draft somebody for this. I think that you slide Lyle Collins to the left guard position. I think that you let you let Connor McGovern probably be a backup. And if Collins is not performing well, then, yeah, you go ahead and put him there. But because of the money you committed and that you showed that he is a favorite, you're going to put Lyle Collins there. I think that Batty has, if you can replace him with anybody in the draft, or you can let him battle potentially with Faranuk, or Connor McGovern, if he can play center or hike the ball, which I'm not sure about that now, then that happens. I think that Zach Martin is on his last year or two of playing good football. You don't replace him this year, but you got to look at a backup and a perennial replacement for him next year, and you start still at right tackle.
What about Josh Ball? Don't forget about him, by the way.
Yeah, he was
Josh
a guy.
Ball is a
and
guy
I heard
that
he's got some talent.
Huh? Say again. What y'all said? Y'all talked at the same time. What happened?
I said he got to come in and prove it. I think he has potential. He had the ability to have a first-round grade, but because of problems, he didn't. He's a guy that you're looking for to come in and prove it.
Okay.
Now, with the Tyron Smith deal, I definitely say you go high at a left tackle because I looked at Smith's contract. He's 31. Around another couple years is when they can cut him and move on from him, and it doesn't hurt the cap like they say. So if you get that really strong left tackle now you can do that grooming. You know what I'm saying? Between that can be that year buffer. You can probably let Smith start it out, see how it goes, and if he falters, then we go ahead and got the guy that we can move on. Just like you said, OC. I think the plan with McGovern, you just said with Zach Martin, maybe got a couple more years. I think Connor McGovern is a better right tackle. Better right guard than left guard. He played better at right guard than left guard. They had him at that backup position when Lyle Collins came back, and y'all were talking about look at the depth chart. They had Lyle Collins as a backup left guard, and they had Connor McGovern as the backup center and the backup right guard. So to me, if they really like Connor McGovern, they kept him away from trade. I say that you really insert that Lyle Collins thing or draft somebody. Like you said, fight that Connor McGovern. I want to see Connor McGovern maybe at the center or the right guard. Because there you have the stoutness that you don't have with Biadasz. You have stoutness with McGovern. And I say look at that because you need that stoutness at the point of attack. And also you got a potential maybe right guard because he played well at right guard and they said he was a better right guard than left guard. And if you see Zach Martin, who's 31 years old now, a couple more years he may not be that guy. Connor McGovern will still be young. You can maybe throw out small deals for him and kind of be able to figure out if he can be your starting center or starting right guard in the future. I think you need to figure that out in this offseason and really push him to the forefront.
Law, I want to ask you a question because I know we had a final word at walk-ons, and you said it was too early to have a discussion on Tyron Smith. Do you think it's time to have a discussion?
It's about time, and I would like to say this, man. I apologize to the OC, man, because I said I didn't want your future, and I believe you was on the money too, Boss Cowboy. So yeah, it's about time to have that discussion. It's about time. And my guy Jay Form, appreciate you, man. He said that the team cap space is $13 million.
And they can definitely free up some cash. To answer the lunatic question on the offensive line. See, because I think a little bit Tyron Smith might be getting a bad hit. Because I got to look at some film. I'm being all the way honest. I want to look at the film before his injury and then after his injury. I think that's the fairest way to grade him, right? Just like we did Zeke, and we did that on the final word. Because everybody looking at this playoff performance, and they like, oh, he's done. I'm like, well, I think
Negative
what
13 million. Oh, I'm sorry, man. I apologize. I'm sorry to cut you off. It's
You
a
go-
negative 13 million.
we go free up some
Oh, they're gonna free up some money.
they go free up some money. But then see, because this is what I think happened. To be all the way honest, see, we all know because we all play football. It's an offensive line room, right? So in that room, those guys are together every day. So you used to thinking Lyell's gonna be the right tackle, I'm gonna be the left. But then you get this new guy who come in and he playing some damn good right tackle, right? And you see it get hot on your guy, your friend Lyell, right? You hear the media, you hear a lot of people calling for Steele to start. So instead of you being able to kick back and get healthy, you rush yourself to play when you're really not ready to play. You see what I'm saying? Because Steele was getting better and better and better. And you saw your homie almost lose his job. So I'm gonna have T. Smith back to where I'm kind of in the middle. I'm kind of like Law and the OC. I'm right there in the middle. I think we need to talk about it, but I don't think we need to panic. I'm right there in the middle. I want to really study him when he was healthy. But me remembering how he looked when he was healthy, I could see him wearing down. I could see that age on him. Just keeping it 100.
You saw it in
man,
that
I'ma
game.
tell you.
You saw in that game against San Francisco.
True. Fact.
Y'all not gonna come. You ain't see that. Y'all saw that.
God, yes.
You see, right? You saw that, right?
Listen, man. Look, guys. I played the position, man. I played in college. I played a little bit after, man. I was in camp with a couple NFL teams. Played in the AFL. Look, I'm gonna tell y'all something, man. When you age as an offensive tackle, bro, in terms of not natural biological age, I'm talking about football years. You age fast, bro. When you hit a wall, I'm telling you, you only got so many good games in your body. I am telling you, and for everybody, it's different. And Tyron Smith has had a fantastic career. He is nearing the end of the amount of good games he got left in his body. And it's going to be a travesty to watch him play where he is not who he really is, who he was at the top of his game, who he was as an all-decade type player. It will be a travesty. And I'm saying it out of respect and out of love for him and the art of playing offensive line. It will be a travesty to wait until he's at the end and you can just clearly see he's like a Bob Whitfield. If you guys remember him, who played for the Atlanta Falcons, who he just had nothing left in the tank and he got beat for 5 seconds in the game. Yeah, number 70. He was a great offensive lineman. And they waited to the end. And then they just took him out of the game. He got cut at the end of the year, and he didn't play football again because he even shook his head on the sideline. I'll never forget this Atlanta game. And he was just like, I ain't got nothing left. He said that to his coach on the sideline. He said, I ain't got nothing left. And you could see his mouth. He was like, that's it. That's all I got. And I'm telling you, out of respect and the greatness of his career, that man, respectfully, he's coming to the end of what he got in terms of good games. And so make preparations now. I think he got another year of really good games left, but I think he's going to get injured because he just got too much wear and tear on that body, man. And I'm sorry. That's how I see it.
What about this guy like Andrew Whitworth as an offensive lineman? How is he able to do that?
Yeah.
You know, did he take a year
Good
off?
question, Law. Hold on real quick. Let me get Law perfect.
He didn't have back injuries.
God damn.
Perfect.
That's a good question, Law. Good one.
Andre Whitworth is an anomaly in the sense that he's an anomaly, man. Everybody's body is different. He lives in LA, and I also think he does a lot of like exotic like stretching in the offseason, which helps preserve his body, right? Like yoga and things like that. It seems weird and it doesn't seem masculine, right? It doesn't seem masculine. But man, when you're trying to preserve your hips and your knees, man, that hot yoga doing stuff like that, it preserves your body.
Yoga flame.
I say nothing with no down with
Yoga
dog.
fire. Yoga flame.
So
You down with dog though?
Down with dog style. Ain't nothing wrong with down with dog.
hey, so he's an anomaly. He's an anomaly, Law. He's a special dude.
Oh, he's a special dude. Yeah, okay.
Can we talk about two more players before we end this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say one more thing real quick about Tyron Smith. I think we do need to do a film session by next week.
Okay.
I have the film session, and we'll be able to break that down.
Yep, let's go. And I'm ready. I'm ready now, boss. We could do it today because I don't watch about.
Now I'm gonna
13
do.
again.
We go bring the film to the final word, and we go all look at before the injury, after the injury, and we go talk real about it, just true about it.
Right.
What was you saying, Big? We got a super chat too. Appreciate the super chat. Skip, say less.
I was just gonna say, just real quick, a couple of players that I just, a lot of people have been talking about Trevon Diggs. I want to get y'all feelings on Trevon Diggs.
Ooh.
Just as it correlates, what's your thoughts on him? He had the 11 interceptions. A lot of people been going back and forth the yardage, this and that. I mean, had over 20 pass defense. What's your thoughts about him and just that performance? I just want to tell you my quick thoughts about it.
Woo.
Once again, we had George Teague on the show, and we talked about things about him that he needed to get better. We love what Trevon Diggs do, the innate ability to be able to see that ball in the air and track it. And be able to turn your body and look at it. That's a lot of people can't do that. But one of the things that was bothering me and George, when me and you talked about it too, boss, was that he doesn't get close to the line of scrimmage, and he won't press, and a lot of time he trails. And boss, you played that position. I know you play at a high level. One of the things that bother him, he rounds out those routes. You know how the receivers know how they can get him to round out his routes, and so that's when you can get that cushion where you're getting 10, 11 yards of extra yardage on him. And his tackling is really suspect, man. Did you see a couple of those tackles?
Yeah. Don't remind me of Debo.
Where he threw his shoulder just right into him. We had already been talking about his tackling.
Yeah.
People got mad at me when I said, "Oh, y'all saying this about Diggs now?" And I'm like, "Bro, I said he got the highest missed tackle percentage on the team all year." And I said he's got to tackle. And did we talk about on the show? I said those cornerbacks got to hold those edges and they got to tackle. And too many times I'm seeing him coming with the shoulder and not wrapping up. And I'm like, y'all get better now. I'm just asking what's your thoughts on Trevon Diggs.
Man, this is my thoughts on him. I think he's amazing. First team All-Pro. I love it, But there's certain receivers that he should not cover. He just shouldn't ever cover. And those are the quick twitch, speedy guys. Look, I don't care what happened, but Brandon Ayuk. That's his first name, right, Brandon? Oh, my goodness. Y'all see how he cut it? You can. I said, Lord, there go my guy Diggs. He said, at the top of the route, he hit him on the middle of the field, and he caught him, and he squeezed up top, and I said, man, Ayuk is killing him. And then on the other play, when he hit him with the double move, it's just that Jimmy Garoppolo was trying to throw it to the man on the moon, juxtaposed to Brandon Ayuk. I said, oh, thank God, because that would have made highlights for years. So my thing is, it's like this with Diggs. He can cover those receivers like a what's the Allen kid for the Chargers? Keenan Allen. He can cover those guys. I believe he can cover. Look, AJ got him one time, but I think that after that one play, he can cover guys like that with that level of speed against the quote-unquote 49ers. I would have liked to see him on Jennings versus the number one receiver because Debo was too aggressive with him, and Ayuk was just too quick with him. So I just look at it like there's certain calibers of receivers he can cover, and he can blanket them. He does a wonderful job with that. But don't crucify me, Cowboy Nation. I just calling it what it is. He's not gonna press you up out of there, like you said, Big Game James, right? And he's gonna play off ball, and he got great instinct, great instinct as it relates to tracking the ball. But some receivers he just can't cover. And I look at it like this, and I'm not limiting Deion Sanders, but what they did with the scheme of Deion, they would put Deion over the number 2 receiver and shut that field down, right? And let the other guys roll coverages and cover the number 1, and that worked out for Prime. So maybe, just maybe, when you line up Diggs, you still put them on the short. You still put them on those guys, but don't put them on the quick twitch, fast, take the top off the defense guys. That's my thoughts. Diggs is nice, though.
I want to show y'all something real quick. I just pulled this up. Watch this.
Who we playing, where we at, they're going to be ready.
Oh, okay. Since you talking mindset, let me segue this thing in. I'm taking over, boss. My bad, dog.
No,
Hey,
good,
but we're
bro.
gonna segue since he talking mindset, mental. See, I like it when you able to do this because now we can get right into it, baby. He's talking mindset. There's a brother from another mother, no other. Don't look like Danny Glover, but his name is Trevon Diggs. Talk to me about the mindset that you got a chance to work with.
All right, now this is before the Arizona game.
Yo, see, I'm crunk, baby. I'm with a legend right here, baby. I'm crunk with it.
I had a little bit of time to spend with the Cowboys doing the OTAs.
Yeah.
One of the things I saw about my man Diggs was he had that mindset to talk about. So he was actually got beat a couple times in practice or whatnot. I went over to him and started trying to speak to him because I could tell his mind was not in the right spot. But he kind of checked me real quick because he was like, no, I'm not real good with getting beat. I'm not real good. I don't care who it is or how much money they're making or whatnot. My standards are better than that. And I knew at that point that, hey man, this guy got a chance to be able to do something great. And we're seeing that now, right now. He does stuff better than anybody else, playing the ball. His technique ain't all the way. It ain't as good.
That's why I played this, big. This is why I played this.
He
Because
ain't
it's
gonna run
about
away from that.
exactly. And see, we was all keeping it real. Watch this.
It ain't as good as it can be.
It can be, right.
He ain't even
And secondary people see that. Like, just to be honest, it's some technical things that eyes and discipline, little stuff. It's not a lot of big stuff, but it's the little stuff. And sometimes a little bit of loafing, too, if we just being all the way honest. Every now and then.
Yeah. You heard me say a little bit of loafing. We saw that. We saw that on that play. He got beat.
Yep.
Right?
He was loafing and he
He
got
was
up on him and he
loafing,
was
bro.
Like, oh, oops. He was like, oops.
But hey, he
See,
covered,
people
he
tried to
covered
act
him
like I was hating.
He covered him well across the hook, though. He covered him well across the deep
He did.
crosser.
No,
he did.
He did.
gotta give
But
him
I
all
was
that.
just being honest by saying
occasionally,
and we just being honest, like on because he's a year two corner.
DB.
So he go get better, which is crazy.
Yes. Right.
You know, Big Game James, we had this talk in the offseason. He put him at his breakout player. I said, and he was right, because he sure enough broke out. I said year 3 would be likely because most corners get better by year 3. He just broke out year 2, but he still got some year 2 issues. So to look at it in balance, we saw a mixture of super breakout in ball skills, but some technical issues, and just being honest, like I said then, lazy on some time. Just straight up. And that's me looking at you based on what you doing. When that dude beat you, you get
lazy on the route.
You gave up on the route, and we looking at it. Now, we telling the truth, I'm gonna say what I saw. If I'm gonna kiss his ass, I'm gonna act like he ain't do that. Like, no, bro, you gave up on that play, dog.
We can't do that. We can't
do that.
You can't lie to kick it. You know, that's what he's saying.
Right. You can't lie to kick it, baby. Gotta tell the truth.
Get mad at you because you say something. It's like the golden boys of the team. Like, if you say us one thing about Michael Parsons right now, everybody gonna cut your head off. Everybody gonna jump you from the Cowboys community. They're gonna beat you up. You can't say nothing bad about Michael Parsons right now. He's the golden child.
Because let's tell the truth, Michael Parsons got another gear.
Yeah, he still got to get better too.
He got a whole nother gear he can hit.
Still got
See, when they great, big, they don't coach them.
Right.
When they great, you see who the person that can actually go to Michael Parsons and tell the truth. Who the person that can go to Diggs and not suck their balls and tell the truth and say, yeah, you sucking up to him. Sometimes you need to be honest with your homies. You got to say, bro, play like you played your rookie year. Because the difference between Diggs this year and Diggs' rookie year, Diggs didn't quit on no play as a rookie, right?
Yep.
When he made that play on DK Metcalf, he made that play because he didn't quit. And see, and we just got to tell the truth. Like, bro, you good, but there's also a whole nother level in you where you can even be better.
Don't rest on that. Push yourself.
Yeah,
don't rest
push
on
yourself.
what you just did. continue to do the small things.
The small
because
things.
That's what's going to make you great.
Right.
Yeah, we see all the interceptions, but like we've been talking about, if you're getting that technique down even better, because we've been harping on getting that technique down, getting better at tackling.
Yeah.
Dog, when people are saying you elite now, like you said, boss, year 3, if you get those things down in year 3, oh my
man.
God. Now we're talking about super lockdown, because
Super
this guy
lockdown.
can do whatever. Now that's when the teams say, I ain't throwing that way, because guess what? He ain't just gambling. He got every phase of the game down. So now I ain't gonna just be throwing Diggs' way, because I don't care what anybody said. Look at his targets. Teams didn't run away from Trevon Diggs targeting him. That's just the truth.
Wait. Yup. And hey, and just to say this one thing, just to pivot just a little bit, the same could be said with number 4.
Facts.
I just think
he had to grow.
Doug Nussmeier,
oh yes,
and Kellen Moore. I didn't see no chastisement. I didn't see why the heck you throw the ball away. I didn't see 1, 2, 3, get the ball out. I didn't see that coaching on the sidelines or that communication. I used to see even when Troy, when he messed up, you see the phone call. He had to go pick up the phone and say, "Hey man, what's going on?" And I know that because the offensive coordinator was in the box at the time. But what I'm trying to say is, Cowboy Nation,
tell him law.
No, it wasn't scared to tell those boys that. And you can't be in a situation whereas you're not getting chin checked while the game is going on. That's all I'm saying. I had to touch it a little bit. So all of the Dak press apologists, don't come after me. I'm not hating on Dak. These are just the same thing with what we said about Trevon Diggs. The same thing we were saying about the other players. That you got to have someone on the sideline chin checking somebody.
Yep.
That's all. That's all. And that's what
listen,
John Kitna did.
I'm from the old school. It ain't no loafing on the field, big dog.
No, never.
When you on the field, you always at 100%. I'm like Rod Marinelli. When you on the field, you sprint between the whistles. Period. Because luck happens when you hustle, and that's true, bro.
Right.
Luck happens. He wouldn't have never knocked out that ball from DK Metcalf if he would have quit.
He didn't hustle.
Right.
So it's like, nah, bro, like, and we just can't be, and I know we not, but what I'm hoping is not around them is a bunch of sycophants. You know, people that like to suck up to you.
I call it beta males, man.
Yeah, beta males. Like, oh, you good, Diggs, you good. Like, who the cats? Like, if I was talking to Diggs, I would tell him straight up, bro, like, you quit on that play, bro. You solid, though. You cold, but you can't do that, big dog.
But you tripping.
You tripping, dog.
Well, you know they beta males, though. Here's the deal. You know they beta males because everybody trying to keep their job, and that's why they lost in the first round of the playoffs. We had a lack of coaching accountability all year. We had a lack of correcting errors the whole year. We got beat on the outside the whole year. We didn't target certain receivers we should have the whole year. We had problems with the offensive line the whole year. So we know it was beta males not doing what they needed to do to correct things going on in the organization. So you don't got to guess if it was beta males. You know it was beta males. And the problem
that's what
is
Jerry loved bringing in.
The Unsullied.
The little foxes spoil the vine. The little foxes spoil the vine. So when you talk about Trevon Diggs, you see a guy, and I said this on the show on Boss Cowboy Sports. I said I project him to probably have a Pro Bowl year. Talking about Diggs, I said that earlier before the season started. But at the end of the day, man, when we get beat on double moves and when we don't tackle, then hey, man, you know it's a part of a microcosm of a larger problem.
Oh my God, man. Hey, man, I was watching Game of Thrones. I'm so late, man. But they got this dude named Grey Worm, man. He was an Unsullied.
Yeah,
Unsullied. One of the most beautiful ladies on Game of Thrones. Oh, my God. He was falling.
Oh, that's my girl. Oh, my God.
Maserati or something.
The Sunday, the finest thing on Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
Oh, she's so fine. Did you get to the part where they showed it, big dog?
Oh, my God, man.
They showed it. I was like, ooh. Hold on. Let me go back.
I said, that hurt me, man. I said,
that hurt when he had the tools he needed at the time. Oh, so with the Unsullied, what they do, let me explain the Unsullied. See, the Unsullied in Game of Thrones was some military guys that they wanted them to be so dedicated to fighting that they cut their junk off to make sure they had no kind of thoughts but war. But them dudes was freed by somebody on the show. So they was free men and they was able to date women, but they didn't have they was betas. they didn't have no meat. So it was, so when it was time and this girl was like, I'm talking about, this is real true story. She was one of the finest women I've ever seen. I was like, ooh, when they showed her from behind, I was like,
and they just sitting there looking.
Yeah, and he couldn't do nothing about it. That's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys, and that's on the cool. That's on the cool. I think everybody hit on some solid points with that.
Oh my
that
God.
We got and I think Jerry created it, keeping it real. And Law said it best. Law said it best. We got an unsullied organization. Most of the men, we don't have meat.
No.
Where's the beef? Y'all remember that?
No
commercial?
meat.
Where's the beef?
No meat. You got no meat.
Listen. Now, Big, did you say? Now, did I hear you say? Big, did I hear you say? I just want to be. I want to be clear. Did I hear you say that you had a guest that told you saw our head coach not even talking?
Say one damn word in the meetings.
Oh my
Just
God.
sat there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when them spider senses started tingling.
Talk, bro.
Them spider senses started tingling because I'm like, what? Now that's concerning because this dude, because as I said before, man, he got blessed in because I think that's what's a part of the problem with the organization, right? Kellen Moore got blessed in when Mike McCarthy came over, right? You know what they probably told him? Yeah, you can bring whoever you want, but you're keeping Kellen Moore. That right there messed it all up. Because they was like, that's our boy Wonder. That's our boy Wonder. Yeah, so you ain't really the man here because you can't bring in your whole staff. You can only have who we say.
Yeah.
Emasculate.
Yep.
So final words.
Failure, and guess what?
Go ahead.
I'm just hoping that he doesn't become the lame duck coach next year. Because if you looked at Mike McCarthy's record in his first 3 years when he became a head coach, I know there was a changeover from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, but he was 8-8. They had the 13-3 season. Then they had the big disappointment, and then they fell off the next year. So I hope that doesn't happen and he becomes a lame duck coach and Dallas suffers because of it.
Listen, one of the things I'm going to say before we get in the final word, this is the benefit of having independent podcasters right here.
Yeah.
Straight up. This is the benefit because we can say what others can't say, bro. That's just straight up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
Yeah.
Straight
and see,
business.
the people that's really trying to sound the alarm is us. It's a lot of fake alarms going on, a lot of fake solutions, but ain't nobody talking about the core like us.
Yeah,
because even before we start talking about
alarms, that got the beeps.
Right. Because a lot of people they go start talking about X's and O's. We need to do this. We need to draft this. It's draft season. Oh, I can't wait to draft season. I'm gonna be going hard on fuck this draft stuff, man. Excuse me. Forgive me for cursing.
Oh yeah, we did. You did just cuss.
My bad,
You
said
the F word.
My bad.
You said it. You said it, man.
Forgive me.
You said
But listen,
man.
shame.
Shame.
Sorry about that too. I really try to be professional. I really apologize.
You are very professional, boss. Don't be listening to nobody out there. You very professional.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother.
You're a good guy, man. You're a good guy.
Thank you, brother.
He good. That man good.
Before we get into the X's and O's and all that kind of stuff, we do got to talk about the culture. You know what I'm saying? Because they snuck us. They did, bro. We really did. I swear to God, we really did. Thought we was really
try to
thinking.
give him props.
We was thinking, oh, Jason Garrett is gone. Start the celebration. The whole time we were celebrating Jason Garrett.
Right.
The whole time the OC said it. They snuck a freaking chosen horse, bro.
Man,
got us
again.
So
sneaking out at night.
yes, And that's why I tell everybody, I don't care where you watching. Some of y'all watching on Big Game James channel. A lot of y'all watching on Law. A lot of y'all watching on Boss Cowboy Sports. I don't care where you watching us. Share it.
Sharing is caring.
Share it. Because see, y'all know we telling the truth, and y'all know most don't talk like this. You ain't hearing this. Share. But being honest, you don't hear this, bro.
You don't. Not this real.
Nah.
It's real over here, man.
Yeah,
it's real.
We can just tell the truth. This is keeping it straight
OC just made up a whole new damn segment here today.
Straight
business.
And I'm buying a shirt. I'm getting a t-shirt. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get all y'all shirts. It's gonna say hashtag
straight business. Yeah, we gonna make
I need to have it before I go to Oxnard. So when I go to Oxnard, when they see Law Nation, they see the beard. You know what I'm saying? They see the hat on. They're gonna say straight business with the beard, with the shirt that say one way or another. I need that because I'm gonna go out there. It's gonna be straight business. Hey, I hope I can get it out there so I can go to the Senior Bowl. Straight business.
I got you, bro. I got you. I'm getting them made. I'm gonna start working on it tomorrow. Really? Because at the end of the day, this is my final word, man. You got to decide, okay? And I'll just get into the final word. This is mine. You got to decide, man. Do you want to be popular, all right, or do you want to win championships? You got to decide. Do you want your pride, or do you want victory, right? And so the Bible says that pride comes before the fall, and that if you humble yourself, the Lord will raise you up. And so since we had Jimmy Johnson in the building, our ownership has neglected to truly humble themselves. And it's cost this organization 26 plus long, hard years of no playoff success. And if you humble yourself under the mighty hand of God, he will raise you up at the appropriate time. So if you want to win, stop trying to deceive. Stop trying to manipulate the masses. Stop trying to control what you shouldn't control. Be what you are. Be great businessmen. Be great founders. Don't be GMs. Don't try to control what should be in the hands of another man. And that is my final word. Cowboy Nation, all off season, follow Law Nation, like, share, subscribe. Follow Big Game James, like, share, and subscribe. Follow Boss Cowboy Sports, like, share, and subscribe. Hashtag straight business.
Yeah.
That boy good. I'm gonna get my final word out right quick. It ain't gonna be long, man. It's just bouncing off the OC. You know, I've been saying this, Jerry. This is just to you, Jerry. I don't even try to believe in curses, bro, but you got a curse right now. And you need to let your pride down. And you said it in the Hall of Fame game when Jimmy Johnson was sitting right next to you. You said, we're gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna let you in. And then you lied to us. You lied to us once again, and we didn't see it. And guess what happened? That first round exit. I believe in this curse. Y'all can tell me I'm stupid, dumb, superstitious, goofy, crazy. I don't care. I believe in this curse because that man did help you. Was Jimmy Johnson perfect in this? No. But you did it wrong, and you did that man wrong. He helped create those championships with you. So you have to give him that honor of doing that. And as long as you don't, you're saying, I did this. I made this. And as long as you have that I attitude, the Dallas Cowboys are going to continue to suffer every single year. And so are the fans. And the fans, Jerry, don't deserve this because you got a lot of loyal fans. I've been in this Cowboy game for over 40 years, and I know y'all been in this. I had a show yesterday where people were saying from the 70s, 77, 70. People are invested in this, Jerry. You need to do the right thing because it's the top. We talk about McCarthy. We talk about the players. But as long as Jerry and them keep on doing this and we know what they're doing, Dallas is still going to be a underachieving, talented, false team.
Yoga fire. Yoga claim.
Dang, boy. Man.
That's dope right there, man. Straight dope.
Say, listen, I felt that, bro. I felt that. He got to do what's right by Jimmy, bro. For real.
He got to, man.
He got to do what's right. As my final word, I would say, I would just talk about some lessons from the season. Lesson number 1 to me is our voice matter. Lesson number 2, our voice work when we have low egos amongst each other. When we're willing to listen to each other. I really want y'all to watch how we interact on this show. None of us had no problems challenging each other, but all of us humble each other to each other. When Law right and I was wrong, I turn around and say, you was right. Tank was the game changer. The OC and Big Game James, even though we fought for over half the season, when it came down to it, both of them boys said, you know what? Cooper the game changer. Now, we fought a long time.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I think we got to learn that as Cowboy fans to have a stronger voice. Because we see our voice matter. But it's about having a stronger voice so that we can keep the pressure on. And I mean this because right now, we all got to fight for Cooper, bro. Because we see these cats will literally destroy opportunities over pride. They would sit there with a straight face and say, Dez is not as good as Hearns, and look at you straight in your face. And then panic and then give up a first to go get Cooper because you already know you messed up. And now y'all looking like y'all getting ready to play that same game with the dude who blessed you out of your own failures. So as a nation, my final word, let's first get rid of our pride, even before we talk about Jerry's pride. Watch how we get down on this final word. Do you see anybody on this final word ever tripping on being wrong? Anybody?
Nope.
Now we gonna fight for our points when we believe it, but once we see it, what Loss just say? He said, yeah, bro, I fought you hard, OC, but now looking at the whole season, I think you was right. He did that openly, bro. He didn't have to do that. I didn't even ask him to do that. I just asked him one question. I said, do you still think, is it time to have that conversation? And he was like, nah, we need to have that conversation because it's not about being right. It's about what's right for the Cowboys.
Right. It's never about being right.
It's never about being right. And I'm being honest, Big, Law, OC. I watched us get in a whole lot of pride over issues that didn't need no pride.
Yep.
Right.
That's why we fell down, dog. Pride.
Pride, bro.
OC started it off. Our OC started it off perfectly, and we've all been talking about it. But it was just the pride. It was the pride of you doing that. If you would have just left stuff alone the way it was rolling, the way it was, it would have been good. But that pride of, I got this, I'm doing this, that, man.
Bro, it hurt.
Bro. It just hurts.
It hurt, bro.
Man,
this Super Bowl hurt worse. This team hurt a lot because we all knew.
You had it all.
Listen, dog. Big Game James, he has never one time I've ever done a show with him or listened to him start talking Super Bowl mid-season. Never. Never.
So the point you thought that you would think that he pessimistic about it.
You would think that's pessimistic, but he not pessimistic. He was just always like, bro, they done tricked me so many times. But to know after the season that you got a Trojan horse, after you really look at the details and you say, this Kellen Moore was a Trojan horse. Oh my, this dude was a Trojan freaking horse. We celebrated Garrett gone and was also really celebrating Garrett coming back. They got us, and it don't feel good. But don't quit, Cowboy Nation, Cowboy World. That's why we ain't quit. Did we take a break?
Nope.
No, we did a 2-hour show.
No, we see the truth. Back to work. That's why I put on a thumbnail, no damn days off. It ain't no days off, man. No days off. Yeah, we took an L. Back to the lab. Y'all see what that thumbnail mean now? Yeah, we took a L. Back to the lab. And the lab is what we're talking about today. Solutions to fix this. Pray that Kellen Moore get a job. And that Trojan horse is gone. I'm serious.
Interview well, please.
I'm serious.
Tell him, Law. Tell him to interview well.
Interview well. Take it all with you. You know, sometimes when you watch Game of Thrones and you see when they conquer a city, they make sure they burn it down to the ground. They leave nothing that was already there because it's time to start over. It's time to bring in our philosophy, our thoughts, you know, the way we operate. And that's just not the Game of Thrones. I'm just pointing that out. That's how everything works when you conquer something, you know. But neither here nor there, the remnants of Jason Garrett is still here.
Yeah, it is.
And I'm not saying that, hey, that is the reason why. But dog it, we can look at this defense and we don't have no impressions left of Papa Rod Marinelli nor Mike Nolan. Everything that you see right now is the fingerprint of Dan Quinn because he came in with his philosophy. He put on his hands on those guys and he put his helmet on and his shoulder pads like he was the player, right? But now, when we look into this offense, we still see shades of Jason Garrett everywhere. Even the thought track, the interviews, even everything, we are still seeing the same. Now, there's this thing that I have with ego, which I break it down as edging God out. When you have that big ego, you feel like, hey, these are the things that I can do. I'm right. I'm not wrong. Like the storyline that we read before many of years ago, Nebuchadnezzar, he stood out and said, I'm the ruler.
Yeah, he did.
This is what I've done. He stepped out and looked over everything that he owned. And the Almighty had to strike him down until he grew fangs and fur and feathers and everything else and ran off into the wilderness. But he stood there so long because he was so stubborn and he refused to say, hey, you know what? I didn't do this by myself. And that's Jerry Jones. Because all it takes for you guys to just listen to the way Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, the playmaker Michael Irvin, on how they give Jimmy Johnson all of the graces. And when he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, all of those guys had wet eyes. Not a dry eye in the building for the former players of the Dallas Cowboys. And a third of you guys that's watching right now, y'all knew how much Jimmy Johnson means to this team. For them to sit back and say on national TV, he will be entered in to the Ring of Honor. Now, it's quite strange to me that centennial game, what have you, that would have been a perfect game for them to lift up Jimmy Johnson and put him in the Ring of Honor there, right? But it ended up that we didn't do it that game. And look how that's when everything become misery for the Cowboys. That's when everything became the wastefall of not being the same Cowboys before that time frame. And we all had that feeling, Big Game James, about that curse situation. Jerry, do us all a favor.
Please.
And put the man that coached those guys that's in the Ring of Honor, in the Ring of Honor. Just do that, get it off of it. Because we just sing that nobody know the day nor the hour. One of the greatest announcers, the commentary of this game, passed away. It would have been nice for John Madden to see Jimmy Johnson enter the ring, right? Nobody know, man, when it's your time. That's all I'm saying, Cowboy Nation. The off season is long. I'm not going to turn off the light because I'm going to still burn the midnight oil. I will be doing some film breakdown of Jordan Davis because that's what everybody said. Saying, hey, Law, you got to check out that big boy from Georgia. So I will be doing that. And that's all what I have for this particular heading into the off season. Let's go, Cowboys. Pick y'all head up. We still support this team. We ain't folding up like a wallet or a lawn chair. Let's go.
No days off.
Oh, and shout out to Dak Prescott for apologizing of agreeing with the fans that threw the bottles and all of that stuff at the officials. Because somebody hit me up and said, Law, I was at that game. And even though the people were targeting and throwing the water bottles to the officials and throwing objects to the officials, one of those things hit the cameraman who had nothing to do with it. You see, sometimes people, you got to look at the bigger picture. You got to look at the bigger picture and behave and do better in life. Come on, Cowboy Nation. We got, collectively speaking, I know it's been 25 to 27 years, however, but we got to make sure that we keep our ground and keep our sanity.
Yeah, man. Great final word.
Shout out to Albo for the super chat, bro. Appreciate you.
All right, so let me see which button I'm gonna hit. I'm gonna hit this one. All right, we got us a 5 question as we getting out of here. He said, "You all do the combined show often?" Yes. Once a week, every Tuesday.
We'll see you there.
Yep. So,
Jerry, do the right thing.
If Jerry do the right thing,
please do the right thing. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose?
I also want to say,
everything to gain.
Y'all make sure y'all keep up with all the channels, because this is the time where the best of us shine. This is where Law go hard, Big go hard, and Boss Cowboy Sports. We finna kill this offseason. We finna wreck this offseason. Y'all get ready. The final word.
Videos, baby.
Oh yeah.
I can sing it now. Y'all made me feel better.
You have to get it off your chest, big dog.
Yeah, I had to get it off my chest. I feel better now. I can probably sing it a little bit.
Yeah. I experiment. Feeling it.
Come on.
Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it
too legit.
Why you not entertaining?
Great show.